Welcome to the show. Welcome to Wasteful Wednesday. Hello, I'm David Sponheim. And this is a show dedicated to waste. The waste in our government, the waste in our budget, the waste in our food, the waste in the dumps, in the landfills, the radioactive waste, the industrial waste that they're spraying in the skies, the waste that you may call your life because you're not doing what you want to do, and you should have something you really enjoy, and most people don't like what they do. 85% of the country doesn't like their job. This is a common complaint. They're not happy. So we want to find everybody some sort of a future, and we want to make our country better so that we'll all be able to choose individually what that future is. I'm not going to tell you what to be. Many of you are just what you are by default, but you should be able to do what you want to do. And you shouldn't be living so far in debt. And our country really is, trying to manage a tremendous amount of debt. So we'll be talking about the student loan debt that's strangling us. Could be another burst in our economy if the student loan debt continues to go south. 13% of the people don't pay their student loan debts off. So there's a default rate. We're going to talk about the cronyism that's been going on in American politics for so long. We'll talk about the election. Today marks a very interesting day. We saw Biden decide not to become president. Now here he is smelling the hair of the wife of Ashton Carter, our Secretary of Defense. He likes to do things that make him feel good. That's a feel-good thing. Being president may not be. We have a couple solutions. Hybrid capitalism is one of our solutions. This idea is a book we wrote called Hybrid Capitalism that will actually spark our economy. And we have about 200 pages dedicated to providing green, clean technology and a way to manage our waste. Now, part of the waste management program that I have in mind is actually a thing we call a housing program, so that nobody goes without a house and no house goes to waste. We've got 11 million people right now. I don't know what he is, but it's interesting. We have 11 million people who are losing their house or lost their house. There's that many houses sitting empty. And I would love to get everybody a nice new house. I really would. But we have to fix up the ones we have. Now this is our plan, to fix up the old houses and make them look new, like this one. And this is a good way to help preserve what we have and make the most of it. You see, I'm a preservationist. I support making the most of what you have. If you have a nice carpet, keep it clean, vacuum it. Don't let it go bad and turn into a pile of crap, then you have to replace it. Well, we've got a nice country. We need to clean it up and make sure it runs well. And these people in the two parties aren't doing that. So it may be like an epiphany for a lot of you to just wake up and realize, wow, this voting Democrat-Republican has gotten us nowhere. I know. That's why I left the Democratic Party in 2008 and said, I'm going to start my own. And I really believe it's the best way to go. We've got to get the corruption out of our government so that we can take care of this beautiful earth of ours. We're never going to take care of it unless we get rid of the corruption that's currently occupying our nation's government. Cleaning the earth, cleaning the waters. We've got all kinds of ways we're going to talk about cleaning all kinds of things. I mean, you've got water and sky to constantly adapt to and make better. And we have the largest cleanup in history coming. We've got a whole plan to actually clean the ocean. So we're going to talk about that too, which is another big way we're going to make money. Our government can get behind government jobs, and I believe government jobs will be a big source of revenue for people in startups like this. Now this is from the oceancleanup.com site, but you guys check it out. This is the future. We're going to be doing a lot to make this world livable again. What we're seeing right now is neglect. All across the board in politics. Most politicians won't even talk about the serious things I talk about on a nightly basis. Fluoridation, GMOs, chemtrails. I mean, you won't even get one politician who's running talk about chemtrails, and you know full well they're poisoning the skies above us. Detroit, yeah. Who's talking about cleaning up Detroit? I am. This plan will be implemented in Detroit, starting in 2017. The nice thing about Michigan state law is that it adapts to this. Using HUD money, that's existing HUD money that's currently not even allocated properly, I'm going to focus on buying up a whole block of houses in Detroit and using the state to help me. And in the process, we'll start fixing up those houses, renovating every one of them. Anybody can paint walls and help put up siding. Anybody can do this stuff. If you're in a wheelchair, you can paint walls at a low level and roll around the inside of the house. It will help you. All right, I'm going to bring in guest chat and see what everyone else wants to talk about, because a lot of people aren't getting guest accounts. Guest accounts are not getting usernames. So I want to see if any of you are legitimate guests, other than trolls, who want to actually participate in this discussion of cleaning the earth, providing rooftop solar panels, and getting housing for everybody. Sausage, welcome. Well, I'm not banning anybody. I told you I'm purging. You're killing our show? I don't think so, dude. No. No, you haven't succeeded. We're actually, doing really well. And I've got the second network I opened up. You didn't know about that, did you? Yeah. We're doing a lot of counter efforts to blow out a good message every night. And you got to remember, I've done this consistently for 7 years, and I'm not giving up. I'll be doing this the rest of my life. And I'm expanding out to radio shows as well. So this is just rubbing up, man. I've got a plan to break into 3 or 4 different areas of the social networks over the next 2 to 4 years. Dave's got almost 500,000 views, yeah. Haters gonna hate. No, that's not true, Beekman. I never banned you. I only banned you once when you denigrated me. I have a banning offense issue that continues to roll out. It'll happen to whoever wants to denigrate me. If you're trying to denigrate us or demoralize us in any way, if you can't talk on the issues, I ban you. I have nothing to gain by having people in here trying to condemn me. Ted Cruz. That's pretty funny. This is a poster of Ted Cruz and all of his hit points. Climate change denial. Okay. Bomb Iran. That's pretty funny. Hey, Ted Cruz is holding the line for the Tea Party. Donald Trump is ignoring the Tea Party. He doesn't want to do anything with the Federal Reserve. He doesn't have any oversight concerns whatsoever over the Federal Reserve. No, I'm not. Believe me, everybody who knows me knows that I will unban anybody who comes in here who requests to be unbanned. It's totally doable. Well, Ted Cruz, like so many people, they don't trust Iran. Many Republicans don't trust Iran, like Barack Obama and John Kerry trust Iran. So consequently, right after the signing of this agreement and then the approval by the Iranian government and the high command of the Ayatollah Khamenei, right after that, Iran decided to, as a thank you note for having us believe them, because a lot of people, like the Democrats, believe Iran doesn't have an interest in nuclear weapons. I, however, agree with more likely the Republicans on this issue, because I really believe that Iran has nuclear weapons, and I would never have signed an agreement on this. I believe they already have them. They're just getting ready to start threatening the world, and they just haven't decided when. But you don't have to believe that.
Looks almost like a scene from an action movie. Dozens of ballistic missile launching systems inside a gigantic cave.
Yeah.
But the video shows Iran's missile program is very real and very big.
Okay, so this was released on CNN literally the day that they signed the agreement. Hello there, Nara Japan, Nishina Yoshi. Hello, welcome. No, I don't ban any. You understand? Whenever I ban certain people, if you want to come in and get a legitimate name, I will ban you if you denigrate us. You'll notice I'm not banning any guests. Yeah. Yeah, that whole procedure is now as a result of people trying to get proxy servers and trying to make me ban proxy servers, which I'm not going to do. No, that's not true. Nope. Like I said, I've expanded another network and we've got numerous people right now watching it. That's a lie. You're trying to make it sound like people aren't interested in what we're doing, and we are at the center of the political spectrum. And you got to understand, we're the eye of the hurricane. You'll never stop me. I'm growing every day. You don't realize when you've lost, and what you're going to realize is your loss will come in as a libel suit and then an arrest and then eventually criminal charges. But you go ahead and continue what you're doing, thinking that you can get away with criminal acts. Feel free. Yeah, the nice thing about our other channel that I opened up is we get program representation on a large network. You know, it's kind of nice. It's gaining momentum for sure. Sausage, why even ask a question, is the world flat around? I mean, that's absurd. I am you, Dave? Well, I can't tell you the network right now. It's all a dream. Because Vaughn won't let me. Yeah, so you want to see more of the Iranian missile program that your wonderful puppet leader Barack Obama has put together?
The head of the Elite Revolutionary Guard's Aerospace Division says. The missiles in various ranges are mounted on launchers in all bases and are ready to be launched, he told an Iranian state TV reporter, and added, that is, if enemies make a mistake.
The video was published only days after Iran test-fired a new generation of ballistic missiles Tehran says are capable of reaching targets in Israel, possibly breaching UN resolutions the U.S. believes.
We've got strong indications that those missile tests did violate UN Security Council resolutions.
This is after they signed an agreement with him. This is the bumbling idiot we know as Barack Obama, who literally wanted to put a feather in his cap and get known for having a person brokering a deal with a known terrorist nation, and you wonder why Ted Cruz is upset. Wow, you guys on the left don't understand what's coming, do you? And you guys on the right don't understand what's coming either. You don't realize that there are fiscal conservatives listening to this program that are ready to say, Tea Party, we know you're part of the Republican Party. You're not really a fiscal conservative. You're a bunch of suck-ups, and you're not willing to stand for fiscal conservancy like I am. I assure you. I would recommend we cut our budget by $1 trillion a year, and I have a plan to do it on my website, a zero deficit plan. So we'll talk about that tonight in detail. We'll be opening up the monthly Treasury report, but most of all, I've got solutions for the country. Okay, everybody, welcome to the show. We've got another group of people over here. That's interesting. Get that in again. Okay, good. Yeah, you are. You may be screwed more than I am, unfortunately for you. I kind of feel sorry for you in a way. Yeah, I'm not as screwed as you are. The nice thing about me is I'm a prepper. And I'm already prepared wherever I go. I carry bug-out bags in every car. I've got the capability of locking down and going into a never leave my house mode if necessary. Yeah, you need to be able to do that in the event of a disaster. And yeah, carry a little preparation age too. You have 16,000 rounds, huh? Well, I don't believe in overstocking lead, but if you have a lot to protect your family, I mean, sure. You got to be able to, carry stuff too. You got to be able to move. You can't just sit there and think you're going to have 16,000 rounds of something and move it anywhere unless you're driving an M35. I saw this truck profile the other day on Doomsday Preppers. I couldn't get over it. It's a vehicle that can go anywhere and run on, talk about running on waste. This truck runs on waste oil. Now you could carry your 16,000 rounds in there, I suppose. But that's the M35. It runs on waste oil. It's a 2.5-ton cargo truck the Army sells at lots, when they don't need them anymore. I don't talk about my personal safety, Phyllis Diller. Are you like a combo of Joan Rivers and Phyllis Diller? Phyllis Rivers is in, everybody. You believe that Michelle is a transgender too? Well, maybe he is a bad shot if he needs 16,000 rounds. Jeez. Whatever. I mean, that's his choice, Oh, yeah, well, whatever. Like I said, if you're not prepared to bug out or bug in, you're not prepared. You see me worrying? No. I don't have any worries at all. I actually believe the old concept that FDR said, the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Thank you, FDR. On cue. Whatever. Yeah, well, exactly. If you're a white supremacist and thinks you're going to knock me off of the network that I've cultivated and all the people that want to talk about how they're going to survive, boy, you got a lot of problems. Because I'm a moderate centrist. Don't listen to anybody who claims I'm anything other than right in the middle of the political spectrum. Well, I don't know. Gold is kind of dipping a little bit. We're not really sure. Gold and silver are controlled currency at this point. They're like stocks. Because they opened up the paper gold and paper silver markets many years ago, they manipulate them like they would a stock. Because there's no real connection to the precious metal itself in the trading community, we haven't seen that big spike in value yet. But if that happens and people realize, oh my gosh, there's no gold to back up the paper gold, then you're going to see a run on gold and the precious metal will go skyrocketing through the roof. Yes. You live in a missile silo? Excellent. Excellent. You bought one of those retired ones they had? I saw one of those Doomsday Prepper shows about a guy who bought one in Topeka, Kansas. And he made a 20,000 square foot home out of it, and he's invited a bunch of Fruit Loops to live with him. One guy sings, "Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya," and the other one's like a faith healer. It's like, dude, you need engineers. You need doctors. You need people that can survive with you. Not somebody who's going to lay hands on you and do an Indian ceremony. But whatever. It's his choice. It's his silo. Personally, I don't have a problem with the concern Ron Paul has about the Federal Reserve. I'm not here to talk about Texans, negative things about anybody. Ron Paul tried, but he didn't have the ability to break away and build his own third party. He had a chance. Small window in 2012. He could have started his own third party movement, but he didn't. I was in a place down in San Francisco called the Americans Elect Convention, where I got involved with the Americans Elect thing, and we got lots of people signing up to it to get me on the ballot in 30 states. I didn't cut the number that I needed. We didn't get enough, but Ron Paul could have gotten enough, and he could have taken that and won. He could have had 35 states as a third party candidate, and he didn't want to do it. So somebody's pulling their strings over there, the Rand Paul group. It's probably AIPAC. The Zionist control of our nation is actually facilitated through AIPAC, and it's something I will never, ever receive money from. Because I don't want to be their go-boy. I'm not going to do their bidding like Obama. Hillary Clinton receives AIPAC funding. Donald Trump endorses AIPAC. Gets endorsement. So these people are going to do the bidding of those people in Israel. I'm not going to do that. Well, if he's bought off and he steps down, it's just going to leave more room for me, won't it? You see, if I do get any kind of mainstream media attention in the next year, there's a likelihood, actually, that a third party could just grow instantly over a few weeks. And we're poised to do that. Yeah, AIPAC, American Israeli Political Action Committee, Rodney. I think you know what I'm talking about. Yes, I was on the news, but I don't make a big deal about it. It wasn't a story about the issues. It didn't talk about my opinions. All it did was profile me being swatted. I didn't think that was something I wanted to be profiled. But whatever. They forced the interview on me. It's like knocked on my door and refused to take no for an answer. And they never even profiled all the issues I talked about. They never do. They never ever talk about the third party issues. It's so funny. And here I'm against GMOs. And I'm against obvious chemical fertilizer and pesticides. I mean, there's so many things that I want to change in this country. Fluoride in our water system. There's no need for fluoride in our water. A lot of cities are starting to opt out of this. I do believe that they are using chemicals in the air, and I not only believe it, I know it. Chemtrails. In fact, they're dumping lithium on the population. I'm against war. I'm waiting for a scientist to get back to me by email. I'm going to try to get an interview with him admitting that he's dumping chemicals all over the countryside. That's very derogatory. Nobody's ever said anything about that. Charles and David Koch pull the strings of all the Tea Party candidates. Well, there you go. I'm not a Tea Party candidate. Another reason to vote for me, huh? Yeah, I'm not a part of their little cadre of controlled puppets, the cronies of the Republican Party. Yeah, when the Tea Party didn't even get party status because they wanted to be protected under the 501c4 nonprofit status, they made a big deal about Obama targeting them as a group. But bottom line is they were seeking nonprofit status to avoid any scrutiny by the political watchdog group that our nation has called the Federal Election Commission. Yeah, so I don't mind taking on some of this tough subjects. Oh, let's not forget the Fed. Yeah, I'm against the Fed. Now you won't get Donald Trump to commit on the Fed because he's part of that group, the group that believes that the Fed is the secret to the universe. The Fed is only just bankrupting our country. That's what they're doing. I met a guy who's a local business owner who said he was outright a Zionist, and I couldn't understand what he was saying because he seemed to be supporting some sort of a plan to take over Washington dating back to the 1800s. So hang on, I've covered my eyes. So he actually got he sent me a DVD disc of how they took. My thing is out. Okay, thanks. How they took. He does. He is a Judas. Yeah. The Masons built Washington. You know that, right? And in 1871, they created this corporation called the United States. It's a side note to the United States of America because what they're doing is they're running all their financial operations through the United States corporation, like a dummy corporation. And this whole plan has been in place since the 1870s, after the Civil War. And they've controlled this for so long. And he showed me this disc that it dates back to Francis Bacon, the plan that they've had in place. And this idea of Zionism is merged with the Masons. It's merged with the origin of our government. We're like completely fused to the hip with the Windsor family. If we think we're independent, there's no actual document in America other than the Declaration of Independence, which is an internal document. There's no international document other than the Paris Treaty of 1783 that says that we're in fact sovereign nation. And in that document, it says that the King of England is the arch treasurer of the United States as long as there's debt owed. Well, guess what? There's debt owed, and guess who owns it? The majority of the debt is the Federal Reserve. Second owner of our debt is the World Bank, the Windsor family, the Belgian royalty, the nobility, the black nobility. These are the people that are financing the majority, along with the Fed, because they own the Fed too. The Rothschilds own the Fed. They are literally in control of our debt note. And you know what our debt note is? It's our Constitution. In Black's legal dictionary, the word constitutor means debtor. Anybody make a constitution means that they're in debt. Our amendments, our Bill of Rights, which stands, in our mind as our Constitution, that came out after the debt note agreement was written. So, as far back as 1783, we were ready, already shackled and owned by our royal masters. You met a Rothschild, really? Are you impressing yourself or something? Because we don't really like that. There is no proof of any emancipation or other than the proclamation but there's no proof of our sovereignty. No, it's all true. Everything I said is true. There's no other document in American politics, in government history, that says that we are a sovereign nation. You didn't know that? We are owned. And people like Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, they're part of the charade we call American politics. Well, I honor the Constitution because of the Bill of Rights, which were amendments to the Constitution. Are you trying to impress everybody with your Rothschild name? Oh, I went into the free account and I got a free Rothschild name. Oh, no one else had it. Oh, I'm so happy. I said Rothschild, yes. Beekman, why don't you take your egomaniacal mentality somewhere else? We don't kiss ass. We're not a bunch of scum-sucking corporate pigs. We don't give a crap, a rat's ass, if you saw or met or filleted a Rothschild. I really don't. You could have been doing the glory hole duty in the bathroom in Vegas for all I care. Yeah, don't try to impress me with that. Thank you. Yes, the male named Evelyn. Yes, I know. Well, these Rothschilds have been up to some nasty things, aside from owning our government and our monetary system and the Federal Reserve. They have so much time on their hands that they don't really know what to do with it. So they decided to create a weather channel, even though we have a weather channel, and it's called myweather.com. Isn't that wonderful? Let's listen in to one of the Rothschilds talk about this plan. Oh, here's Evelyn, by the way. Before we get to the other one, let's listen to Evelyn.
Well, I think mostly I'm still in bonds, government bonds. But I saw a very intelligent man that you had on television, as you have some very bright people the other day, who said, which I agree with completely, the stock market doesn't really reflect the economy of a country.
Oh man, somebody really blew the laugh track on that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't really like this this whole thing, but as you can see, that they have such a kind of a pompous attitude toward everything, and frankly, they own everything. So there's really nothing to talk about. No, not at all. I've actually done a lot of purging. And so these people who are money mongers, who literally own the world, would like to let us think that there's nothing wrong with having billions, let alone trillions of dollars, and using them to control the weather. So I'm going to show you weather.com, myweather.com, and explain to you how we're going to do this.
The RMB situation, you mentioned a so-called currency problem. I mean, do you see the day in the next 5 years where it's fully convertible and flexible?
Well, you're talking to a person who's quite old. If I'm around in 5 years, I'd like to think that that is the case. I think we've all got to move towards that opportunity, and I think the challenge also is whether we should move towards an international currency, because the speculation and the complexity of currency has caused some of the irritation, not only among the trading nations, but among individuals. But it's not for me to say how it will happen. But I think everyone who knows how to deal with these situations is very cognizant of the problem it takes to get over it, and I think the renminbi will become more convertible. But when it'll come, that is a matter for obviously the powers that be.
Which would be you.
I want to just change tack slightly. Of course, China's seen, central China, parts of central China, seen the worst drought that they've had in many decades. Now, you've got this investment with your wife in Weather Central. How could that actually help out in terms of planning for things such as droughts?
Well, I think that first of all, we have 25 broadcast clients currently in China, and we are the #1 provider of broadcast weather graphic solutions in the country. I mean, you had this downpour, I believe, in the last 24 hours, which has caused even people losing their lives, and situations like this. With the detail that we can put up through the technology that we give to the various weather stations, this makes people more aware of it. On the whole, it's a question of giving the opportunity. I mean, we have also launched an operation called My Weather, which gains access to the first truly personalized weather application for the web and mobile devices. You can go.
You know, My Weather is not needed. We have weather.com, but what this guy is doing, Rothschilds and the Rockefellers have actually invested in Sonoma County water rights in California. They're buying up water and they're tracking the weather because they're actually adjusting the weather. They're using weather modification tools that they own. I bet. They own weather modification tools that deliver chemtrails. So as I dig deeper into this, I'm beginning to see what's happening. They're targeting our most successful state, California. They make us believe that there's global climate change happening. They make people like Hentz, who clearly doesn't understand what their game plan is. They make him believe, oh, we have to stop global climate change. And then they start delivering more and more drought rather rapidly. If the Earth was going to respond to greenhouse gas effects, it would take probably close to 100 to 200 years for the effects to happen as fast as they're happening right now. We are creating weather, and this man is the architect of that change. So when they literally invested in chemtrails capability as well as weather modification capability, and they own the ability to track the weather, of course they're going to want a tool, a real-time tool to know exactly what they're doing, right? So myweather.com is simply an offshoot of the necessary things that we need to use to properly monitor the weather as we dump chemicals all over your head. And then create this artificial drought in California, killing agriculture and starving the western coast of the United States. And then we will go in and buy property values at an incredibly low rate. And then also take over the water rights of California and then profit there. You see, we are in the business of making money. That's what the Rothschilds do, you silly. Don't fall for this BS climate change crap. We are facing climate change, but it's not because of your exhaust fumes or some cow farting in a field. It's because it's an artificial drought. You're laughing? Let me show you what it is. It's really happening. It's all over the place. I'm not the only one who's seen 48 different chemtrails in the sky. And if you want to stand there and call me a name, a whack job, or whatever you want, because I see what they're doing and I show you what NASA is doing. Now you're going to hear a NASA scientist right now talk about how he is literally dumping chemicals all over the country to test weather patterns. And you tell me that chemtrails aren't real. Listen to this, you idiots.
came out in the major newspapers, including the Huffington Post, there was no mention of lithium. Not one. Not one mention of lithium. Until I heard the recording of the actual, I listened to it. I listened to the rockets go off. I had no idea there was going to be a lithium dispersed until I heard payload, lithium, dispersed.
Right. There was lithium dispersed, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I think you might be under some misconceptions about what we're doing, but I'm happy to tell you any details that you need.
Well, I know that it says in your article that you're doing it for communications.
Okay, I'm happy to talk to you more about it. There are many reasons we're doing it.
Okay.
I'm happy to talk to you more.
Article that you're doing it.
For anyone who wants to look this up, this is legitimate, for real. This is Douglas Rowland, the educated fool. You can write him an email right now, ask him why he's spraying chemicals on the population. Feel free. All of you can take his email down. You have a pen and pencil? Go ahead. The credible explanation is he's an idiot who thinks he can dump lithium on the population. He's an educated fool, okay? He actually believes that it's environmentally safe to dump a toxic chemical on the population. They're doing it all over the place. They're doing it all along the Oregon coastline right now. No, lithium is not harmless, hence. No, it is not. Fluoride at the level we're getting in our water system is not harmless. You guys are under a lot of false assumptions that have been carrying you along through life in your denial. This educated fool believes that it's okay to dump tons and tons of lithium over a populated area. Lithium is not harmless. Lithium causes second generation. It's a class in itself in terms of mutagenicity and tetragenicity in the human genome. It causes abortions, or miscarriages. It causes baby defects. Oh my God. It kills your liver. A lot of people, bipolar people are taking lithium because it helps with their psychotic ideations. It basically turns people into complacent jellyfish. Yeah. Mayor Rothschild says lithium is in the air is harmless when it's dispersed. Thank you. That was funny. You're drooling on the keyboard? Okay. Stop drooling. So if you guys are experiencing any constipation, hey there, DT Laura. If you're experiencing constipation, stomach distended, a decreased sex drive, a loss of hair, mutagenicity is a word. You just haven't discovered it yet. It's in a technical dictionary, but thank you. Lithium is a salt which mellows the production of dopamine and serotonin. So you walk around and talk like this. Hey everybody, we really have to work on building this third party. That's what it makes you into, a mental midget, a jellyfish. And there's also the silver iodide they're spraying in the air to bring water up to the Northwest. Where we are in the Pacific Northwest, it is the most... Here, I'll leave this up so you can write this guy later and say, why are you poisoning us? And I can tell you that this whole effort will not go unnoticed. I'm making a phone call to a person that this guy recommends. And I'm going to talk to him about not the ethical nature of dumping vapor in the air, really why he's dumping chemicals in the air and what his net result is. How does he get the silver iodide to attract water? I'm going to talk to the scientists about this. I'm setting up an interview with the renowned expert this guy refers to in the video. But let me play the rest of the video for you guys. And for all of you naysayers who believe they never would spray anything in the atmosphere, I've got a NASA scientist, and you write down his name now, who's admitting it, Douglas Rowland, that admits that he's dumping it in the air.
For communications.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm happy to talk to you more about it. There are many reasons we're doing it.
Okay.
We don't understand how the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails, as you probably know. Different trails at night we use and different trails during the day. The wind blows them around. They glow either on their own or from scattered sunlight. We take pictures and we can see how the wind trail moves around. In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of
Okay.
We don't understand how the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails, as you probably know. Different trails at night we use and different trails during the day. The wind blows them around. They glow either on their own or from scattered sunlight. We take pictures and we can see how the wind trail moves around. I use that to infer what the wind is. Just like if you were taking a picture of an airplane contrail, you can use how the wind trail moves around. I use that to infer what the wind is. Just like if you were taking a picture of an airplane contrail, you can use that to see how the wind was blowing up at those altitudes. This is much higher altitude, so we use these chemical trails.
And what is the purpose of knowing what the wind's going to do in the ionosphere?
The purpose is the ionosphere. It's really to understand our planet. It's very fundamental science. We're trying to understand. Every day we know there's electric currents that flow over the head. They're just naturally there. They've been there for ever since the Earth had an atmosphere and a magnetic field. And the wind is driven by the sun. The sun heats the atmosphere. The wind blows, and every day that wind drives an electric current. And we're trying to understand what causes that. Essentially, how does it work in detail? And also importantly, when the sun becomes active with lots of sunspots and lots of magnetic activity, that changes the wind pattern and changes electric currents. So we want to understand both what it is on a regular day when there's no solar activity, and then what it is when there's a lot of solar activity.
Is there some other kind of a way that you can use it without dispersing the lithium?
We're researching other ways. The lithium is actually harmless to the environment, and we could show you more about that. But it is tricky to use because it's very faint. You can't see it with your naked eye. You have to, have special cameras to see it and so on. So we don't like to use it for that reason. It's hard. In other words, it's hard measurements to make. We're researching other ways to put sensors directly on the rocket to measure the wind, and those are ongoing. We're trying to develop those now. In fact, one of the purposes of this mission was to do that.
Okay. Well, you've explained it to me then. I don't agree with it, but I appreciate you explaining it to me.
Well, too, if you have detailed questions, anything you want.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna research it a little more, and I will email you. And I appreciate you taking the time out to speak to me today, sir.
It's your call. It's not often we get to hear from members of the public. People are really interested and concerned with what we're doing. I really appreciate your time.
I wish more people would call. I really do. I've called my senators. I've called my governor. You can't get through to anyone, sir. You can't get through to anybody.
Yeah.
I go to my city council. I live in rural North Carolina. They don't care. They laugh you out of there. There's no other recourse for us, sir, unless to talk to people directly and find out what is going on, because we're paying for it.
Well, I don't know how far you are from Wallace Flight Facility. Is that easy? Is that drivable from where you are?
Where is it, sir?
Yeah. Where is it? Yeah. Hey, thanks for promoting me on Twitter, everybody. We are here to talk about the issues. Appreciate it. I am a person that believes the government has co-opted almost every group, including WikiLeaks. Anybody who believes that they have anonymity anymore, forget it. The Democrats, Republicans endorse this concept of government takeover of our rights. The social networks have all been co-opted by our government. And they did it with lots and lots of money. If you're wondering how they did it, they buy people. You see, people need money, and they buy people. I don't think Hillary would have the chutzpah to ask me to run with her. That'd be funny, though, if she called me. David, before you're president, you ban all people who say something. No, I don't ban people who say something that I disagree with. I only ban people who are denigrating, demoralizing to our efforts. And if you come in here with an issue, I want you to know I will address your issue, and I'll let you speak your mind. I would never stifle free speech. I totally endorse free speech. I've been so out there with free speech that I've actually created videos just to use free speech, because if you don't use it, you lose it. I'm running for president. Yes, I am. Well, I'll be helping the country too. Right now, I've got to wade through all the mindless idiots that don't understand that they are literally dumping chemicals in the skies above us. It's just a daily thing. It's not getting any better either. Our skies in our area are laden with lithium all the way down to Oregon, and people are walking around like, we've got a massive leak of Fukushima It's pouring into the Pacific Ocean, and Donald Trump won't even mention it. Hillary won't mention it. Barack Obama won't mention it. I mention it. I have to add this to the list. It's Fukushima, too. I will end Fukushima, the problem. I have a plan to fix the problem in Fukushima. That volume is really loud. There you go. Yes, and I will stop fluoride too in the water system. Yeah, why do you think I have it on the screen? Have you ever heard of fluoride? That's pretty funny. Yeah, of course I've heard of it. Is this being blocked in some foreign countries? I mean, let me put it up here. A lot of you can't see the screen. Well, let's be clear. Okay. You know, let's not talk about how my body parts are in disproportion. Thanks. Yeah, lithium in the air. You just heard a NASA scientist tell you about it. You got radiation flowing into the ocean from Fukushima every day. 6 swimming pools filled with Fukushima radiation. Well, you might as well eat tuna now, because this is the end. This is the end, my only friends, the end. Now, this is a real animated projection of how the radiation is permeating the waters outside of your house, you idiot. Well, what they do, Mr. Moron, guest 5506, doesn't understand what I'm talking about. They spray silver iodide in our area along with lithium. Thank you. They spray it in order to dumb down the people and to bring water and moisture to the Pacific Northwest. That dehydrates California. Okay, guest 5506? That's what I'm talking about. They use the chemtrails to pull the water away from California, and when they want to dump it on California, like one of our viewers, Scissor Fight, is living down there, he said they had chemtrails about 4 or 5 days before torrential downpours, which literally covered I-5 in mud. So they're willing to bombard it with water, which we can't reclaim very easily, flood it, and then it's like sucking it out, flooding it, sucking it out. They dehydrate the ground, the beautiful California coastline. I grew up there. I spent 35 years of my life in California. I love it. But I don't want to see California being abused by this chemtrail activity, which is clearly going on. You guys who are sitting here going, wow, I mean, how can this guy even run for president because he's talking about wacky things? No. Talk to your friends. You got to understand there's a lot of research going on right now revealing the underbelly of this incredible plan to poison our atmosphere. I just showed you a NASA spokesman that literally said he's dumping chemicals on you. And he's okay with that. And he thinks it's environmentally safe to dump lithium on you. They never talked to the American people about this. They never had our opinion. They never have an initiative to say, well, do you want to have chemicals dumped on you? No, they just assumed that it's their right to dump chemicals on us. Why? Because they want to test the earth, see what it's like. Yeah. For what reason? To fire a projectile 2,000 miles an hour into the air? What difference at this point does it make what the wind is doing? What difference at this point does it make with the atmosphere being filled with chemicals? I mean, clearly something's wrong with this picture. But when we ask the ultimate question about Benghazi, we get now Bernie Sanders endorsing Hillary. He's not running against her. He's a shill for Hillary. And all you get from her is this.
What point does it make? What difference at this point does it make?
Yeah. She won't answer any questions at all about Benghazi, about what our government did to depose the power of Muammar Gaddafi. What did Chris Stevens know? Why is Hillary so concerned about those emails that were flying into the CIA's office a couple days before Chris Stevens died? Is there a trail leading to complicity here between Hillary, Barack Obama, and the death of Chris Stevens? Yeah, I'm really concerned about it, and I'm tired of people not answering questions about Benghazi. So unlike Bernie Sanders, the suck-up shill that he is, I care about this country and the future of our nation. If we had policies that had killed off our ambassador, I need to know about it. Okay, we also have a tremendous waste problem, other than the radioactive waste in the background here. And I want to get to that tonight. We've got landfills across the nation filling up. We've got Every one of our nuclear reactor sites, of our 104 nuclear reactors, we have literally filled with crap, spent fuel rods. To the brim, folks. And our president got rid of a $7 billion plan called Yucca Flats. It's still there. It's still usable. But he mothballed a $7 billion plan to start getting rid of those spent fuel rods. The Democrats don't want to deal with anything. Anything that marks them as anything other than wonderful people, they don't want to take on. You see, that's the problem. We've got these meek, mild, afraid tax and spenders that want to increase government size, increase all our dependency on tax dollars just to finance things, and turn our nation into a joke around the world. Fighting wars for elitists that control the Democratic Party. Literally, starting a war in Syria. Could you ever imagine? As a Democrat, I can't even imagine that they would be launching attacks in Syria right now, funding rebels, ISIS forces, to start a war against Assad. Why? To piss off Russia. Why? Because the Democrats don't know what they're doing. That's the bottom line. They don't have a clear vision about what this country needs and where we're going. They don't have a 50-year vision like I do. We have an electric grid that is very vulnerable. And there's a lot of things we can do to make it less vulnerable. But you listen to these people, they want to cap and trade you. They want to stick every product you buy with a certain tax in order to finance their concern for the environment without actually fixing the environment. Hey there, guys. Yeah, I'm not trying to come down hard on you, man. I'm an average guy. I'm a moderate centrist, not a centralist, but thank you. I'm a moderate centrist. I was a Democrat for 30 years. I liked the Democrats at that time, but I feel that they're bought off now. Like I told this woman who supports Bernie, I said to her, I don't trust the Democratic Party anymore. Too many corporate cronies running the show like John Kerry, and now they want to stick a feather in their cap by signing a deal with a terrorist nation that immediately announced that they have missiles launching on a country they don't even acknowledge as a country, Israel. And you got people in our country going, well, maybe we should just side with the Iranians because that'll help. Yeah, it's pissing off Saudi Arabia. The reason why you're paying under $2 a gallon in some places of the country, because of Saudi Arabia. Pissing off Israel. I don't need Israel to be a Zionist takeover country. I just want Israel to exist because they have the right to exist. And you're never going to change that. Israel has a doomsday bomb, and we want them to admit that they have nuclear weapons. That's what I want to do. I'm way out of the box, yeah. I'm not a closet anything. I'm a person out in the open fighting for our proverbial life right now. Your country, our country, is literally being handed over to the monetary elitists on a silver platter saying, please don't hurt us. Our crony politicians are a bunch of freaks. They'll bend over and grease up and take anybody for a small fee. Lockheed Martin gives about $3 million a year out in donations to political candidates in the Republican and Democratic Party. They literally give out $6,000 to 60% of our Congress per year in donations. And I can tell you that those donations are $3 million gets them $35 billion in return. I mean, can you imagine spending $3 million and getting $35 billion in contracts every year? That's what they're doing. That's how horror-like our politicians have become. Oh yeah. Well, thank you for calling. I mean, we've got people in our area that get a phone call from a contractor and say, "Hey, we'd like to, dig up your road and put a new one in." And they go, "Oh, okay. How much will that be?" Hey, we just made you a ferry that doesn't even work where you live, but you don't need to know that. Would you like another one? Okay. How much will that be? $47 million? I'll try to increase taxes in our area so we can finance it. God! These states are literally going bankrupt. Our state of Washington is $90 billion in debt. California is $542 billion in debt. We're talking about waste tonight. I'm not stoned. You need to get stoned. Yeah. I'm going to ask you to get stoned right now. It's pretty weird the way they're spending money, I'll tell you that. Politicians equal whores. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a politician. I'm actually trying to become a leader. But I can't even get heard. Oh, I'd like a little more coffee there. Thank you, nurse. You are stoned? Yeah. Well, I can't even get 1 minute of mainstream media attention, guys. So when we do the show every night, it's really just to tell you guys, we're out there, we're not going away, and I'm not gay. You are stoned immaculate. You know, I've been asked this by many people, why do you hate sex? I don't. I just like great sex, okay? I don't like mediocre sex. I'm just not into it. It's in the other room. I have to go get it when Sarah gets here. I'll go get it. I'm going to do a little modeling. I have not seen the wig yet, and it's not going to look like Trump's hair initially, but we will definitely take a look at it. I may have to engineer the other wig to look like Trump's hair, but for our Halloween thing. Hey, we're going to take a look now at the news. Joe Biden has dropped out of the race. That's no longer any information. We kind of knew he was pretty ravaged by personal loss this past year. I try to eat avocados once or twice a week, actually. I love avocados. If I was living in California, man, you could get me to come over to your house if you had a basket of avocados sitting there. Supermajority of House Freedom Caucus to back Paul Ryan's speaker bid. Now, as you know, I put a bid into the speakership, but nobody's really talking about it. So if you could write your senator, I could be the Speaker of the House. If all of you wrote your senator right now, you could get me become the Speaker of the House. Paul Ryan's, Eddie Munster, he's not a good solution here. Many people think he's a centrist. What he is he's a caved-in Tea Party guy who doesn't really want to test the waters with new plans. No, I was not a test tube baby. My mother and father planned me. Yeah, there's no gay here, guy. I'm as heterosexual as they get. Women swoon when I walk by, dude. Yeah, you would be, I don't want to arouse women when I walk by, but, it happens. I can just see they're like, wow, a real man. Yeah. Let's talk about something other than sex, shall we? We've got a person from Japan who wants to speak. Let's see what they're saying. I'm going to do some translation here. Dream. I know, they want to be gay. I've been told by a lot of people that, they're attracted to me and they can't help it. There must be a system alter audience equals. Yes, there is. Guest 701. We are running a separate chat in other areas. I can't give you that information yet. We're still in the middle of figuring out how we're going to go bigger than what we're at right now. We've got over 112 viewers in one chat room, and we've got 200 and some odd in another, and we're going to be blowing out into our Ustream chat room, which is live right now, by the way. And we're going to be taking a lot more input there. So I know you're frustrated. I'm glad you guys have become guests and are watching our show. You can help promote us by simply talking to people around the world that you know about us. And I thank you for that. And without the international support, I don't know, where I'd be. Just from you telling people, about us. You're not allowed to make any donations, though. Okay. Battle Cam, what? No, that's not the other network, but thank you for asking. Okay, so we'll try to keep track of some of your statements, but if you were customer service, you'd complain. I see this person, I got banned complaints. Yeah. No, you can start with your donation to America's Third Party at our website. And if you don't see it there, maybe I can get it up above, because a lot of you are seeing some sort of a blocked here. Hey, the real problem with this thing here is it could very easily go dark. It could very easily, blackened. We could have an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that could take out much of the country's electromagnetic capability. It knocks out solenoids. So don't think for a second that the Earth is not vulnerable at any time. I know you do. I'm sorry you have that addiction. All right, let's take a look here at what we can do to prevent that from happening. And that is create, I'm talking about solar flares. I'm not forgetting about it. I'm talking about solar flares. Coronal mass ejections, that's right. You guys are pretty up on this. I'm glad you are. These types of things happen. It's not pretty. So if the Earth, and they say this could happen, 12% chance of it happening in the next 10 years. That's a pretty high number. I'm amazed that that statistic played out, but yeah, it's serious. We're putting out a lot of wasted money, putting money into our infrastructure. Right now, NOAA and NASA both get about $15 billion a year. And what I'm going to do to save money is fuse NOAA and NASA. And we're going to make sure that NOAA actually gets a return on investment. We don't believe that they're making any money back. NASA's not making any money back either. I mean, you know, the weather feed they give all the network news channels is actually free, courtesy of your tax dollars. Yeah. All right. Sarah's in the other. She's going to be visiting. You know, she's out and about. She'll be back. So I was working on getting you the coronal mass ejection, if that's okay. It's taking an extra long time, though. Well, I don't want to hang out and do that because I got things to do. I got places to go. I got to take care of this country. A lot of you guys want to have, discussions about, nonsense. I'm here to talk about the coronal mass ejection that just hit my face. NASA can get payloads into the atmosphere. They've proven that they've been able to launch rockets and they can get money back. Instead, NASA is giving Russia $500 million to send payloads to the International Space Station this year. It sounds so sexual, I know. Let me shrink the coronal mass ejection a little bit. There you go. Is that better? You guys love that coronal mass ejection word. So this is something that could very well happen. Well, it's something that many of you don't think is going to happen, but if the grid goes out and you no longer have any lights there on the East Coast, you're screwed. You're never going to make it, man. Ralph Nader, does he have any money? I don't think he does. Ralph Nader is still suing the Democratic Party for keeping him off the ballot in 16 states. He has numerous suits still filed. I mean, I feel bad for Ralph Nader. I wouldn't want him to donate any money. I doubt he could even afford to buy tuna fish for himself. Our astronauts have been very good at dancing around in underwater environments, pretending to be in space. They do great promo videos that pretend like they really know what they're doing. But honestly, we have a group of actors, not astronauts. They're astronauts. So my concern right now is that we get the programs that are still in play to work and get a payload in the atmosphere so that we can actually make money and get something delivered to the International Space Station. Is that too much to ask? And all you guys want to talk about is ass play and ejaculation. They've turned you all into absolute mental jellyfish. Congratulations. I want to end the war. The war in Afghanistan, I have a plan to do that. I have a plan to end the war in Iraq by producing weapons-free safe zones in those areas. And we have the idea of containment of the main population of the key areas like Baghdad, like in Afghanistan, Kabul and Kandahar. These are areas that will save us money by not investing trillions. We've already put $2 trillion into the war effort, and it hasn't led to anything. The two parties led us there to that place, that nowhere place with no exit strategy. They did that. As a former Democrat of 30 years, I actually said, I don't support ratification of the war in Iraq, and they said, shut up. Rub that sphere. Hey, let's get some music into here. I mean, I can only talk so long before I need to rest my voice. You guys need to unwind a little bit because it's been a rough week. You're at hump day. You're on your way down. You're coming down toward your vacation time, which is your holiday, your weekend. I get it. You want to have fun. Look, nobody's here. Why are you accusing my viewers of being drug addicts and drunks? That's ridiculous. Chill out. Whoa, hey, that's pretty heavy. Hey everybody, welcome to the chat lounge and political virtual reality show. It's groovy, man. I grew up as a low middle class person. And no, I'm not on PCP. I'm just a person who's willing to give you guys a fun time and talk about politics. Yeah, what's grooving, man? I'm from the 60s, man. I'm like as close to a hippie running for president. You'll ever get. Woo! I love that voice. Man, I love your voice. I have her down there in the, hey, just stay down there in the eaves. We're in front of a studio audience, everybody. Thank you. In my mind. Just kidding. Hey, would you like to open your mind a little bit? I mean, seriously, let's expand our mind, our consciousness. I don't want to have you guys waste money on, unnecessary expenses in your life. I want you to trim your budget. That's how America is going to be better, if we run efficiently. But right now, these people in power want us to spend. And they want us to spend so much money, we're going bankrupt, individually as well. So when I was a young man, I'm still a young man, really. I'm only 55. You like my tie? It represents the earth and how I'm going to save it. Or try to. So I want all of you to take a moment and open your mind to the possibility that we could have a cleaner planet and a nation that cares about its people, not about giving foreign aid to other countries. So let's open our mind, everybody. Hey, China can do whatever they're going to do. We can still live in a nice area in America, even though we're catching the air and radiation from Asia. I do have a plan to fix the Fukushima crisis, folks, and I want to show you what that plan is. Looking at the Fukushima reactor number 4, which is the worst, we're looking at a meltdown, a China syndrome meltdown. In this particular case, it's in Japan. There's a big mountain behind the reactor. And let me give you a kind of a heads up. I give you Mount Fukushima. Mount Fukushima has a 5% grade as it goes down the hill. When water runs down that hill, it goes right through one of the most contaminated reactors in the history of mankind. There's actually 6 reactors all lined up. General Electric made these things, and I'll show you what they look like here. this is a real picture of it as it is today. The spent fuel rods are in the top section, and it's very dangerous. No, I don't speak Chinese. So the TEPCO has been kind of wasting time over the past 4 years, pretending to do something, so they make pretty pictures. And they talk about doing something like moving the spent fuel rods, but there's no way you can move the spent fuel rods. They're like a wet pack of cigarettes. It's just not going to happen. Doon, doon, doon. Yeah, so what we have in mind here is a two-step process. Outside of the reactor facility is an open area of water that's breaching the Pacific Ocean. And that can be plugged using an aircraft carrier called the USS Forrestal. That happens to be the same size as the opening. And we can take it there with nobody on it using robotic tugboats and bury it right there in the water, like sink it, and put liquid concrete around the hole where any kind of gaps may fill. Now this is what we're going to do. And if Japan, of course, has to be on board with this, but what we would like to do is provide an immediate cover, since 4 years later, we still haven't seen a fix to this problem. Provide an immediate cover for the mound, creating a mound system. Now, looking at reactor number 4, we would build a large mountain on top of it. And how we would build it is by taking and carving out water, like a trench, around the reactor itself and all the reactors to guide the water away from going down the hill, 5% grade. So let me take my stylus here, and this is what we will use to fill and create the large mound. You see that? So we create a water wall that will prevent the water from going down the hill at the ocean from going in through the reactor area. This will mitigate the flow into that bay. That's just for starters. And then we would build that mound system up, essentially, using any means possible, obviously. Oh, come on. Thank you. Well, he had $4 million in tax payments due, Al Sharpton. Yeah, 8 years. He's not serving prison time. I noticed that, yeah. And I can tell you that the water wall matching right there with the jetty system will give us the ability to actually bring water back from the battle ship, the aircraft carrier USS Forrestal, and bringing water back, we can then use a fast breeder reactor to get rid of the dangerous water that's irradiated right now from the existing leaching into the soil that's been happening for a long, long time. All right, we're using 97% of the fuel from the dangerous, horrible reactor. All right, let's put Fukushima behind us now. We can use that as a mental note. Thank you. Okay, any other questions? We can move on. You don't understand what I'm talking about? Should I make it any clearer? We're going to cover the worst reactor with a mound of dirt and plug the hole in the bay. Okay? We're also going to end fluoride in water, stop chemtrails, all this fun stuff. Stuff that you don't need to even worry yourself about if you do vote third party, because frankly, your options are nil with the other parties. They don't have any real answers for anything. In fact, the common expression that Hillary says really will apply to everything she does if she's ever president.
At this point, does it make? What difference at this point does it make?
She won't have a nightly chat show with you. She'd have one right now if she really wanted to have one. But she keeps her dialogue very trim and very sparse, because the more she says, the more she sticks her foot in her mouth. I talk incessantly about these things because I really believe that we can fix these things. We need solutions to our nation's problems, and we're not getting them from these people. These people have no clue. Hillary is pretty much, she admitted last week, or 2 weeks ago, that she's a robot. She's not even human. I mean, how can this happen in our country when we've got a woman running for president who has literally no competition in her own party? And she claims that she's not really human. Now, for all of you who haven't seen the article, oh, by the way, we talk about crop circles on Monday or Tuesday. Mostly Monday. Yeah. But if you guys haven't seen the article, there it is. Vanity Fair just profiled it. She literally said, and I keep repeating this because a lot of you haven't heard the truth, she literally said last week or 2 weeks ago that she says, I'm really not even a human being. And it goes on to talk about how she says she doesn't sweat. I'm serious. Yeah, they're probably going to give Caitlyn Jenner, robotic capability as well. Have her run. Well, unfortunately for you, you'll never get a person who's transparent. Calling people on Vaughn jerks is demoralizing, and I had to purge you for that. Don't call these people. I've got viewers on here that are good people, that are waking up and becoming aware. And you run around calling these people jerks, whoever you are. If anything, that troll is the jerk, because people are opening their mind right now. Yes, of course I'm human. I joke on Thursday nights. I do a little skit where I pretend to be a audio animatrized robotic presidential candidate. Or maybe you think I'm a hologram. Either way, you cannot detect between a moderated voice by a professional voiceover artist and an actual robot. I just like having fun. It's just kind of cute. It's fun to do. Anyway, Hillary must have been watching my show because she went out on a limb claiming she's really not even a human being. And that she didn't say it was a joke either. She really meant it. I mean, she goes on to say that it's unbelievable. Oh, you're waking up. You're suddenly waking up. She says this. But you have to cut this. You can't tell anybody this. I don't want anybody to know this. This has been a secret until here we are in Davenport, Iowa, and I'm just spilling my electronic guts to you. The fact of the matter is she doesn't sweat, folks. That should be the telltale sign right here. Yeah, I'm not a socialist, Kool-Aid. I'm a centrist. You got it all wrong. This does appear to be somewhat robotic. I've got to tell you, they could easily make her look like a middle-aged woman running for office. It wouldn't matter. They use Frubber. They have the ability to create artificial faces. You don't think this technology is developing rapidly? Look, let me show you a glimpse of what 10 years ago was. Okay? Wow. Apparently you just aren't up to speed. Would you like to see a robot baby or a robot itself with Frubber?
It has the face of a boy, can smile, look sad, even angry.
Diego-san is part of a series to understand enough about how humans move and interact so that we can imagine building humanoid robots.
Robots learning not just how to express human emotions, but develop relationships with people. What may sound like the plot of a sci-fi movie is right now in the works at UCSD with Diego-san.
The way we teach Diego-san to make a good smile is not by telling him move this one, move this one, this one. What we do is we record a lot of infants smiling.
Wasn't that interesting? David, you know that anyone who was talking a lot of crap about you earlier today and made some derogatory comments about the white people? Oh, that's too bad. You know, I don't support racism. I really don't. But we have bigger problems to fry here. That's the robot crisis we're in here, with a presidential candidate who's a robot. Yeah, we've got bigger problems here. You know, don't worry about racial bias, because frankly, at this point, we're all in this together, no matter whether you're black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. I'm not scared of Hillary. I'm concerned that she's a robot. That's a big problem. Well, it could be a troll's dream, but I've done this for 7 years and they haven't succeeded at stopping me. So whatever you think is a dream may be a nightmare for you. You may be hooked up to this going, why am I doing this? Why am I bothering this poor guy who's just trying to start a political party in America? A lot of you are going to give up eventually. They always do. I've done this for a long, long time. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Resistance is futile. Welcome to the new movement that's going to change the two-party system. I have some tools at my disposal. Let me see if I can pull one up here. Ah, there it is. This is pretty high-tech, everybody. You're going to be really impressed. I have this thing. It's called the U.S. Constitution. You know, I think Joe Biden's getting very tired of running, and he's going to make room for me, and I thank him for that. I have the U.S. Constitution to defend me. I really do. And what I love about it is the amendments to the Constitution, because they pretty much gave me the pathway that I need to help save this nation. There's nothing they can do to stop me as long as I'm supportive of our government, which I am, wanting to get rid of the cronies by voting them out of office, which I want to. And I want all of you to run because some of you are honest. I know you are. And I'm not a Democrat. That's the best thing about this. And I don't mind talking to constitutionalists on the phone. We have a couple people we know are solid supporters of the Constitution that are running for president, as well as a couple people running for U.S. Senate coming up in this election. And I don't mind embracing the constitutionalists, even though they are an independent group, different from us. I support the Constitution. I'm a centrist. I left being a liberal behind when I embraced the right to bear arms. And the gun ownership rights are central in our plan. We've got a website called AmericasThirdParty.com, and you can go there right now and click on the link in the center of the page. Right there it says personal freedom, free speech, gun rights, privacy, preserving the Constitution. But we also have a plan to get legalization on board with a production of hempoline, which helps save the amount of waste in the world from fuel oil. But this is what I'm talking about. This will get you the poster that you can print up on your computer, or you can take it to OfficeMax. Just send the JPEG to OfficeMax and they'll print it up on 8.5 by 11 color cardstock for under $1. And if you go on 11 by 17, it's $1.88 right now. The NRA gave me a C because I support verification. You know what really bothers me about the NRA and a lot of people who are extremely concerned about gun rights? They have no wiggle room at all. They're the most inflexible people I've ever seen. This is not a religious show. We don't talk about religion here. We talk about politics. Well, maybe it's because I don't, brag about my arsenal of BB guns. But the bottom line is, I support verification. And I think it can be very quick. They already have technologies that will work rather quickly with gun checks. You could have a website you go to, pay $1.99, or even have a free check. The government could finance this. Just offer a free check. Nothing is stored. The sale transaction is not stored. It's simply a check process to make sure that person is not a hardened criminal, capital criminal who has actually threatened people with guns before. Or that person's not a mental patient who has willingly said that they want to hurt themselves or others. It's a simple checkpoint. It's not that big of a deal. This is the type of technology which is already in place. They've got this capability. The engineering that went into it has already been put in place. I mean, this won't be like Obamacare. Obamacare cost us $2 billion. That's how much the website has cost, believe it or not. But when you look at what they have in place here, it's pretty powerful. It's the NICS process. You're crashing your jets?
In 1968, President Lyndon Johnson enacted the Gun Control Act in response to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Robert F. Kennedy. In 1993, as an amendment to the Gun Control Act, President Clinton signed the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, otherwise known as the Brady Act, named after James Brady, who suffered a near-fatal head injury during the 1981 assassination attempt on President Reagan. As a result, the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, or the NICS, was established to determine whether or not the transfer of a firearm would violate state or federal law. The Federal Bureau of Investigation implemented the NICS on November 30th, 1998.
Okay. So as far back as 1998, they have the NICS system in place. So it's not like we'll have a big transition to go to a fully automated internet website ready to check this out. I support the ACLU and what they're doing. Absolutely. Fighting for freedom, civil liberties, absolutely. I have enough regulars, yeah. I don't need troll numbers. I got a lot of people who support me. Look, we've been doing this for 7, going on 8 years now. And it's been fantastic. Because I'm a never-ending force on the internet, people realize that they can trust that I'm going to be on. And I'm going to talk about the issues. I don't support gun control. I don't support reinstating an assault weapons ban. I did at one point want to reinstate the assault weapons ban when we started this. But after talking to as many conservatives on this issue as I have over the past 7 years in our chat room, I have completely agreed with them on gun right issues. However, verification is the only area I'm going to ask the right to submit to when they sell guns at gun shows. And maybe we'll make it free. I mean, seriously, we shouldn't pass that burden on to the person buying a weapon or the person selling a weapon. Yeah. I don't waste any time. My efforts are actually a huge success. In fact, in the past year, I've noticed that the notoriety has increased dramatically. And what's really interesting is even though they're censoring me in the mainstream media, I've actually broken through in international markets and are now penetrating back into the country. And that thanks to the people in other countries. We've got videos playing across the nation, dance videos. Japan has made a big issue about that impersonation video I did of Barack Obama, which I think is great. Yes, hi. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just checking on that. If aliens landed and disintegrated every gun on the planet, how many gun killings do you think there should be subsequently? You'd never see aliens do that. The fact is, you gun control advocates are never going to be able to get people to disarm. And the more you try, the more weapons people buy. Gun control is a thing of the past. We're never going to have gun control in this country. It's not going to happen. No, I'm talking about figuring out a solution for the gun show loophole. It's not a scam at all. I'm actually putting together an idea to use NCIS and integrate it live on a website for people to do instant checks. But you won't see any stored information on the site. We will put excellent plans in place where we will flush any information out through a cache system. Your sale does not need to be reported under this plan, so there's nobody tracking your gun purchase. And it lowers the bar of concern that a lot of freedom supporters that want our freedom of right to bear arms guaranteed, to relax them and make them realize I'm not going to push for gun control and I'm not going to push for any kind of a ban on the number of bullets. I'm also not going to encourage our government to buy any more rounds like we purchased recently, 1.6 billion rounds of ammo for the Department of Homeland Security. I'm not going to encourage a greater police state. I'm going to try to turn this nation into more of a holistic solution for our sustainability where we can solve people's problems instead of force them into prisons. Now, we've got a tremendous amount of waste in our prison system. When I talk about waste, it's huge. The number of prisons in our country is greater than any other nation in the world, and they continue to be a problem because they've got for-profit measures going on, partnered with the private sector and the public sector. So you get judges putting people in jail for no reason, simply to warehouse young people for 5 years in a prison. Could be your son with a low-level drug possession charge. They could go in and you'd never see him again for 5 years. This is the weapons cache of Iran. I wanted to bring that up. Thanks. I was looking for something else. Hang on. China is turning into a massive problem. And we're seeing pollution problems just deteriorate in China rapidly. So we want to lead by example, and our country has kind of been the template of other. Thank you. Thanks, 612. Well, that's why a lot of people will give you a C- on gun issues. I'm sorry, but I got to have a verification. Look, you want to sit there and not verify, then you might as well let Iran go ahead and have a nuclear weapon too. I mean, you seriously don't want to be verified if you're psychotic? Of course you don't. You want to be able to have the right to bear arms. You don't want to, have somebody take away your right to bear arms if you're psychotic and want to kill people. Hello? We're not going to allow that to happen. No, I'm not guilty of being a liberal apologist. As an ex-liberal, I'm here to tell you that, I can communicate with the people in the Democratic Party. I understand their mindset. I can also steer them toward the center where we need to, find some common agreement here. You need a person like me, an arbiter, a third-party specialist who can solve problems one-on-one as they pop up. You're not going to get that with any left-wing radical like Hillary Clinton or a right-wing neocon like Donald Trump. You won't get that. Our country won't unite, and we the people will never ever accomplish anything. Using the N-word is a purgeable offense in our show. No, I'm not a Democrat. In fact, that's a purgeable offense too. Like I said, I'm a centrist. If you don't get your head in the right place, you won't be spending much time here. And my community does not use fluoride in our water system, but I filter all of my water with reverse osmosis. I have point-of-use filtration systems running in our house. I also double or triple filter my water. I actually go through another filter when I drink my water. When I make coffee, I use the reverse osmosis filter and I put that in the coffee maker. And then I sip my filtered water. There isn't one single beverage out there, except for maybe juices, like filtered water uses in juices, that's filtered. Tap water, beer, soda, all fluoridated. Everything, it's all fluoridated. There isn't one special beer made by a microbrewery on the market that filters their water. No, I don't ban people who don't agree with me. I told you, I only ban people who try to demoralize me. Do you see me banning you because you don't agree with me? No. These aren't facts. I'm not making them up. Everything I said is true. Sarah is working quite a bit, so she'll be in a little later, but what do you think is OCD behavior? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. I don't wash my body with fluoridated water. I don't wash my clothes with fluoridated water. So what's the big deal? Yeah. Many of you are addicted to fluoride and you can barely even comprehend what's going on. John Brenna has a lot of skeletons in his closet. The CIA's process is to continually come up with new people. It's a revolving door at the top. Look what happened to General Petraeus. They betrayed him big time. He's serving 2 years probation for releasing state secrets to Paula. But John Brennan is, he's got a lot of secrets. They're going to just, oust him. That's how they handle it. No, you don't have to disagree with me or agree with me on pot legalization. But don't characterize it as pot addiction. There's no such thing as pot addiction. There's no physical withdrawals from smoking pot. Yeah, he'll be fired soon, Mr. Brennan. But what they do usually is fire them, and if they're really outspoken, they end up, having a bad thing happens, Yeah, maybe a heart attack in the jacuzzi, something like that. Paul Ryan is not a very open-minded person, not creative. He's a stalwart suck-up to the traditional two-party system. He's not brand new and fresh like I am. He's old and worn out, and I think he's younger than I am. Paul Ryan's age. Let's see how old he is. Oh my God, he's 10 years younger than me. Yeah. Yeah, he's just not a very, flexible kind of guy. He seems pretty stalwart in his ways. Plus, I really don't like his Eddie Munster hairdo. That's a problem. Hey, if you really like Paul Ryan, why don't you just make me Paul Ryan, okay? He's 10 years younger than me. I really don't know. I mean, I'm not in no way. Thank you. I look 30 years older than him, really? No offense. I differ. How many people believe that I look 30 years older than Paul Ryan? He doesn't want the position, no. 20 years older? I look younger. Thank you. That's the correct answer. I just told you I'm 55, so thanks for shaving 5 years off my life. Yeah, I'm 55. What a crap-eating grin he's got, I don't like the guy. No, nothing's fair about what you're saying. I'm banning you or purging you for simply derogatorily saying that I look 10 years older than somebody I don't. Let me show you a guy right now, thank you, who is 10 years younger than me. That you probably know who this person is. His name is Chef Ramsay. Chef Ramsay, where are you? He got lost in the shuffle. Oh, Chef Ramsay. Yeah. I think we may have lost Chef Ramsay. Yeah, we didn't hold on to him long enough. Yeah. Oh well, let's change the subject because I really don't want to talk about how old I look. I'm kind of bored by that. He looks like a penile wart. Really? My God, man! Pull yourself together! Yeah, I'm a little young for presidency. I'm 55. I am older than Barack Obama by 2 years. Let's just focus on age right now. Let's focus totally on age. Chef Ramsay is 7 years younger than I am. I give you Chef Ramsay. Piss off! I can cook on a Bunsen burner. He would be lost on a Bunsen burner. Let me see if I get this look. Okay, this is the guy you say looks younger than me. Okay? Well, I'm telling you, I definitely am telling you, this guy is 7 years younger than me. I don't practice karate anymore. I actually, what I do is like street fighting with myself. I decided karate was too stilted for what, response needed in an urban environment. If I have to defend myself and my group against the outrages of zombie apocalypses, I'm going to have to be a little bit more creative than karate. No, I know he's not handsome in the eyes. I agree. He has that single-mindedness too, the egomaniacal sense that he wants to dominate everyone, and I don't have that. You notice that I am really a nice person, and even though people want to paint me out as this bad guy because I ban people that say bad things about me, I've got to be one of the nicest guys running for politics right now. No, I don't think he is. I think he demoralizes people. I think Ramsey has done to, I don't know. I wish there was an analogy. He's done to cooking the opposite of what Julia Childs did for cooking. He's turned people against cooking with his attitude. I don't plan on banning anybody. I've only purged people tonight. You see that, right? Wax on, wax off. Oh, of course, I would need a security detail, but as you know, we're just a small little gathering of about 1 million people right now, and we're really not that big. Until we grow to about 10 million strong, that's when I'll need security. But thanks, guys. Yeah, my attitude is I love to cook. I don't think having Paul Ryan as Speaker of the House really is any different than having Mr. Rogers as Speaker of the House. It's like, hi, boys and girls. Welcome to the show. Won't you like to get together and talk about how we're going to screw the American people over and cut side deals? It's almost like Mr. Rogers on acid. I want to be Speaker of the House, yeah. Paul Ryan, let me tell you how messed up Paul Ryan is. He actually tried to negotiate with Patty Murray to put this ridiculous budget together that will barely cut the deficit by more than $100 million a year. It's crazy. We need to cut $1 trillion a year. And he was willing to bend over and kowtow to Patty Murray. I mean, the worst possible person in the Senate, in my opinion. This soccer mom from hell. The woman who will suck up to the military-industrial complex to bring all these orders into this area, to flood this area with pollution, decibel levels of 120 decibels over my house. Yeah, I have a personal bone to pick with this woman. And it's the only time I've ever voted for a Republican was when she tried to run again. I voted for Dino Rossi because frankly, I can't even imagine her getting reelected again and again and again. And she is elected again and again and again. Who is she? She's basically, Patty Murray is Obama's Joker. Whatever she wants, or whatever he wants, or whatever his handlers want, she's out there pitching for him in the Senate. Big military spending, attack on Syria, attack on Ukraine, Patty Murray's there for the vote. Support big corporations, Patty Murray's there for the vote. Yeah. Well, she's not wearing the makeup. That's called Photoshop. Yeah, it turns out that we've got a real problem on our hands here. Yeah, with this woman. It's just not appropriate. She's not appropriate. We need to zip this up. Yeah, John McCain, well, he's a war hero. I don't agree with his politics, though. Dave, the deficit is related to the budget. Okay, no kidding. Really? I've got countless blogs on our site written about the deficit and how we want to get a blueprint for economic survival for our nation. Don't tell me about the deficit. I just put on America's Third Party our new plan at the top called Zero Deficit Plan. and it is good to go. It's $1 trillion shaved off using very advanced technologies merged with a plan of austerity. If you go to our site, just click on the link. Zero deficit plan. It's about a 2-page read. And it's a pretty cool plan, actually. I crafted it about 2 weeks ago. Anyway, it involves looping technologies that are currently duplicitous. You know, for instance, our military, we use camo. We use different camo for every branch of the military. Why is that? Because we want to pay 35% more on camo. I know, in the history of the United States, there's never been a Speaker of the House who didn't come from Congress. Well, that's why they need to start thinking out of the box. I can help. I didn't Photoshop that picture of Patty Murray. It was done by some other Patty Murray hater. But I don't hate her. I just don't think we need a soccer mom telling us we want to go to war with Syria. Or more and more weapons here. More and more sorties flying over our head, killing off the planet. More and more wasted fuel flying around in circles with antiquated machines like the F-35, which Patty Murray totally supports, and is going to cost us $1.5 trillion over the life of the F-35. That's what the F-35 is costing us. The stupidity of the Pentagon, the stupidity of Patty Murray, the stupidity of people who put a pile of junk up in the air and call it a weapon. If you look at the technology that Russia has, the T-50, it's superior to the F-35. And I'm sorry to have to say that. The F-35 failed in 2 critical air battle tests against the F-16, a plane that's 20 years older. That is an irrelevant question. Do not talk about sex or religion here. Thank you. I am calm. What do you mean, calm down? No, I have a 50-year plan for America. I have a 50-year plan. Plan. Well, the thing is, I'm not going to sit around and expect to live that whole time or be your president that whole time. I just want to project my ideas out there. It's called communicating. Yeah, we do have the F-22 Raptor, and it's a very effective. The Predator is also a good technology. We can use either one of those intermixed in a battle against the T-50. I think we can seriously compete. But we have to develop new technologies at a cheaper cost. We can't continue wasting money on F-35s and F-18s. We need to start developing scramjets, UAVs that fly with a payload like the... Well, let me show you what we have in our lineup. We put $1 billion into this little puppy. Northrop got $1 billion to create the only unmanned aerial vehicle that will carry a serious payload. It's called the X-47B drone. And it will deliver a payload. Can you tell defense to build planes without wings? Well, actually, they built a plane with just a wing. That's one of the high-tech stuff they're doing right now. What do you think about Biden pulling out? Premature dysfunction of political ambition. I still believe Biden could be our president toward the end of Obama's tenure. I believe that the Democrats may have to impeach Obama in order to save their party. Everyone's turning to the Democrats going, why did you allow Obamacare when it is literally costing our country 40% more on health care now? Everyone is saying, why did you allow Barack Obama to piss off Putin and drive America into a war, a colder war with Russia? Why did you continually ignore the environment with the Gulf of Mexico still a huge problem he doesn't even talk about? Why did you continue to ignore the Fukushima crisis and not make people aware of the radiation levels that were increasing on the West Coast? How come you've been such a bad president, Barack Obama? And most of all, why are you complicit in the cover-up of Benghazi? And worse than that, were you involved in the death of Chris Stevens, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton? If you were, you won't be serving any time. And the Democratic Party will have to impeach, because we have enough votes in the Republican Party to impeach Barack Obama right now. We do. And we can see Biden move forward, and we could at least see him, run the country as best he can for a year. In the meantime, I'm going to be elevating in the polls, and I'm going to be ultimately offering the American people my 50-year plan, my package for this country, which is a beautiful plan that cleans the environment, protects our jobs from foreign exploitation by building American industry, funded by an infrastructure bank offering U.S. loans to U.S. businesses, hiring U.S. citizens at a living wage of $15 an hour. Sponheim Care won't have any name attached to it. I don't want to profit from any of this. I simply want to get mobile medical units in every city. I don't want to alter the private healthcare system. I want to get mobile medical units in every city in America to basically alleviate our nation's burden, which is really why the healthcare costs have increased, because trauma care and healthcare ERs have been shutting down and unable to meet the demand of the mandated healthcare that our government's now forcing our people in our states to pay. So, yeah, I'm pissed off. I want a solution-based plan, not something that's basically money-driven. Basically, everything the Democrats have on their table is driven by money and greed. Cap and trade, carbon point legislation, all of it's about money and greed. None of it addresses the key issues facing the country. The rising cost of healthcare has always been at the background of this entire problem in our economy. It's sucking us dry. So these mobile medical units in every city in America, we'll put them right next to every mobile unit will have a connection, a telemedicine connection to the VA system. And the VA will essentially offer free service to the veterans. And anybody who's not a veteran would pay a copay. Even an illegal alien would have to pay a copay. And if they didn't have one, they'd have to sign their name, the Yama, and they have to sign their name, and we check against the tax records, and we will be prosecuting people who violate. All right, so now we're going to be looking at a brand new healthcare solution other than Obamacare. We're going to see many states nullify Obamacare, as they should. And many of the states that don't want to offer a same-sex marriage license, I'm going to urge them to simply nullify marriage licenses. Stop giving out marriage licenses. It's not a lot of money. In fact, these mobile medical units could be created for $1 billion. I priced these out at $5 million apiece. We have 200 units rolling out at $5 million apiece. All right? That's how much it costs to put a mobile pharmacy in there, a portable x-ray system, a blood system that checks blood prick check, automatic computerized check of your blood, and find out what your electrolyte balance is, your blood chemistry is. And that'll be included in your $30, by the way. That'll be covered. They'll have a printout of a potential diet plan you can take home and say, well, honey, I better cut out those that butter out of the diet. It's telling me my cholesterol is pretty high. Or maybe you're pre-diabetic or pre-blood pressure issues. All that would come up in your $30 checkup. 200 units is a start. LA is going to have 10 of those units rotating around every single area. It'll be enough initially. I know it will. Yeah. Look, have you ever spent any time in front of the LA County Medical Center? I have. I've spent hundreds of hours at the LA County Medical Center. I walk up to that place and you can see people out in front, like 20 or 30 people dying every day. They go there to die. Okay? This unit would be parked next to the LA County Medical Center, and those people would be getting treated. Well, you don't work in a place that actually deals with the kind of health care that the LA County Medical Center deals with, I assure you. I've seen it firsthand. I know the crisis. I feel the crisis, and I'm the guy to fix this crisis. I'm the guy to solve this problem of rising healthcare costs, because if you work in the healthcare industry, you must know that they're ripping people off everywhere. And if you're one of those people who's making a lot of money in the healthcare industry, you're committing a crime against humanity. And the people that we'll have working at the mobile medical unit will be able to do triage and preventative care and will undercut your price by at least 100%. It pisses me off every time somebody goes in for a doctor's appointment. Out they go, $300 in 5 minutes. Well, how are you feeling? Okay. You want to stay on your existing healthcare plan? Well, good. Your medication working well? Great. Here's the bill for $300 for me consulting with you. Nurse, could you rev up my Lexus, please? Thank you. It's crazy how much money they make. They're sucking off us like off a tit. They come in. You're a mark when you get sick. Oh my God. And you end up getting sick in America, you're going to end up dying at the hospital. You know, the Democrats are all about gun control, and all they care about is, well, we got to limit gun deaths. Oh. More people kill each other with a bludgeoning of a hammer or a large dull object than using a gun. More people die on the highways by far than using a gun to kill people. And if you really want to look at the real death toll and what's really contributing to it, medical malpractice leads to 150,000 deaths a year. And another 250,000 deaths a year are caused by staph infections, hospital-borne illnesses, bad sterile technique by a bunch of inept alcoholic doctors walking around going, hey, who am I going to work on next here? I'll work on it, it's okay. I mean, literally, I'm telling you, we've got major problems, and I can blame the AMA for this. They didn't let more and more people get into the medical profession. They've limited that. Now that's going to change, because this plan is coupled with a training program for EMTs where you can become an EMT in 6 months, an emergency medical technician. No, this is the plan. And in more than 6 months, if you want a 2-year degree, you'll be able to do nurse work. If you have a 4-year degree, you'll become a physician's assistant at one of our mobile medical VA facilities. And you'll be working to pay off your student loan for like 10 years. But you'll still receive a salary, a very nice salary. And we'll cover your medical malpractice cost included in that deal. I'm not getting the votes from the doctors. I could care less if the doctors and the nurses vote for me. The nurses union can stick it. Frankly, I don't care. I'm done with this whole thing with nurses and doctors trying to do the good work and charging $45 an hour. I personally know that hospital administrators are making $800,000+ a year, and they work at non-profit hospitals. I know of one in Seattle getting $850,000 a year, and he works at a non-profit hospital. The hospital doesn't pay taxes because they're non-profit, and he makes $850,000 a year. And stop saying negative things about DT, okay? That includes you, Drag King. If it happens again, I'm going to ban anybody who does that. Well, good for you. I'm glad you want to be a nurse. The new nurses won't be making $45 an hour. They'll be making $25. I hope you still want to be a nurse. Well, again, I'm going to ask you to not do that. You know, show some at least deference toward some of our other supporters here. You don't have to agree with her. Well, you need to feel good. I mean, a lot of people come in here and attack our supporters because they can't attack me. So they figure they get another easy mark out there. They're going to attack somebody else in the room. Scientists at the Large Hadron Collider hope to make contact with a parallel universe in a matter of days. Problem is, LSD doesn't work that quickly. What are these guys smoking? Don't they realize that they've already dropped an entire plane that landed in the middle of the Alps because of a magnet failure? That they covered up with a lie about a cockpit recording that never existed? You know that the Hadron Collider, the CERN reactor, actually had a magnet drop the minute that Airbus crashed into the Alps. You know that, right? Yeah. And the entire story's been covered up. The immediate response, they immediately got to the location, immediately found the flight recorder. Immediately. Doesn't that sound a little suspicious to you? When it takes 30 days for the NTSB to find a flight recorder in America and get it to be transcribed? Within an hour and a half, it was transcribed. No, it's not coincidence. It's a cover-up. There is not one, and I challenge any one of you, go on the internet, there's not one single audio file of that cockpit recording showing that the pilot was locked out of the cockpit. You like me saying cockpit? Yeah. I know. Well, I don't want anyone to pick on you. Beekman, I stand behind our police force. I want them to modify their protocols, that's all. I don't want to make them my enemy. I just don't want a police state forming. And we're seeing one form right now because we're seeing the people that are controlling the two parties do the bidding of the people that want to ultimately turn our country into a police state. I am the antithesis of a person who wants a police state. I'm a guy who wants to lower the bar of police control. Let's put the video scopes away and stop this ridiculous tagging people for speeding. And focus on criminals that are abducting children. 55,000 kids a year are missing in America. Go to missingkids.com. We need to solve these problems, not just have a guy with a speed gun stand there and go, "You're going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. I have to give you a $165 ticket. I'm sorry." So they pay for themselves to go back to their coffee shop and sit there and eat donuts. There is a police state. Yeah. No, believe me, the urban problems can be solved with better economy. Growing opportunity for young people. And we could even partner with like a police academy for young people in areas that want to be a beat cop in their area. And they want to be their family's beat cop and say, "Yeah, Mom, I'm just checking out the neighborhood. Well, you be careful, son." I will. You know? Thank you. Well, this is the 4th of July in a way. Every night's very strong political participation at America's Third Party. I love that about this show. Integrating our ideas with yours, at least talking about them and sharing, you know. We have very centrist political views. Sarah and I agree on everything on our platform and everything in our book. The only time we ever disagree is when we have this Conspiracy Monday night, really. I mean, it's kind of amazing. We are entitled to all disagree, you know. All right. I not only believe, I actually know. I know I will be. You may believe that I believe, but I know I will be. The thing is, when you have a vision, and your vision is powered by principles, and there's nothing preventing you from ever succeeding. Even if I live to be 120, I'll still be running for president. I've been cool all night long. Trump is basically alienating Mexican people in a way that there's going to create fear in America if he were to become president. People will be fearful they'd be rousted from their homes and deported to Mexico. I will only deport people who are trying to come over the fence. That I want to build my idea, not Trump's. The 1,000-mile fence we started talking about in 2008. He's trying to take credit for it. Not going to happen. We're here with Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Did you have a nice dinner?
Hi.
Thank you.
Yes, I actually did have an okay dinner.
You did good.
I'll tell you all about it later.
Good. I wore this tie because of my Native American past and how we want to deal with this crisis the Earth is facing. Fukushima in the background of the Earth. Let's see if we can bring in Fukushima here. This is Mount Fukushima. It's draining into the reactor. Donald Trump won't talk about it. Hillary Clinton won't talk about it. Barack Obama hasn't mentioned it in 4 years. I'm talking about it. We are concerned about the future of our oceans. We're concerned about the future of our air quality, and our water quality. You're not getting that from the Democrats, folks. We have a plan to actually pay Americans first, ending the problems at Fukushima, stopping GMOs, ending fluoride in our water system. These are all rational things to do.
Really, you don't like my headbands?
They don't like a lot of things. You know, people aren't real happy. You know,
gonna stay.
People just aren't that happy. Life is not as wonderful as they expected it to be. You know, we live in a wonderful country, and there's no reason for us to think that for a second that this is not the best country in the world, as it is. Well, I uploaded the fix, and it doesn't work. But it does grab, you know, it just takes a long time, see? They've got some issues still. Okay. It could be the speed of our computer, though. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, we're doing great at the speed, but we could be running at 3.5 or 3.6 gigahertz, and we're running at around 2.8. That could be part of the problem.
It could be.
You know, the criteria is already set in stone. Anyone who has a nuke can retain that nuke and begin to decommission those nukes in a timely manner. Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. We need Israel to sign on. Israel has not admitted that they have nuclear weapons. That's a major problem. People aren't that happy. That's an understatement, David. I know. I realize people aren't that happy, but it's worse than that. But yeah, if you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, then surely you'd be upset by the fact that right after Iran signed this deal with Iran, the entire deal went through the Iranian Congress, they immediately issued this video on CNN showing nuclear missiles up and down, ready for action. And it's not something that I think...
Underground missile bunkers?
Yep. It's not something I want to, you know, give them any time on our show, but it's pretty serious. They've got underground missile, and they don't even recognize Israel as a state. Israel is a country. They won't even acknowledge it. They still see them as a mortal enemy. So this Iranian agreement has been a disaster, and it's costing our nation $155 billion. Wow, we're paying a big price for having an idiot for a president, that's for sure. Cool. Well, thanks for coming in. I'm going to take a quick break, a bathroom break, and you can talk to the room. What background would you like tonight?
This is fine.
This is
I
fine.
don't mind.
Okay. It's pretty.
I like sunflowers.
All right.
That are soaking up the radiation.
There you
Just don't eat those sunflower seeds. That's what I would say.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. Let the sunflowers just look beautiful and soak up the radiation. I know they don't soak up 100% of radiation, but hey, soaking up a little radiation is better than soaking up no radiation. That's really good. Hello, Earth Sky. Is there somebody named Snooky in that room? Over. I already had something to eat. Thank you for your invitation, though, Bagface. Very good. I know. Actually, these pants are a little tight. I realized after I put them on today, and I was like, oh well. I'm wearing them. It's all good. Oh, Cookie. Oh, hey, yeah. How are you, Cookie? I haven't seen you in a while. I know. Jazzercising. Wouldn't that be good if I actually did that? That would be good. No. Thank you, Rothschild. Yeah. How have you been? Are you enjoying retirement, Cookie? World War III? What? World War III? Yeah, well, they're not that tight, but yeah, actually they are. It's all good. You love it? You love retiring? What's your favorite part? What do you do? Please share. Oh, okay. Trip? Who's Trip? Is Trip Cookie's significant other? Oh, staying up late. I sometimes do that, even though I shouldn't. Yeah, staying up late is kind of nice. That's very good. What about, you know what I would probably like, Cookie? Not the staying up late so much. That, mine would be sleeping in late. That's the part of retirement I would really, really enjoy. Yeah. Of course she does. Everyone in this profession would think that, Drag King, I would say. I know, isn't that fantastic? You don't have to like get up super early and be all ready. Sage on stage, as they say. I don't know if I'm ready for David's Trump Halloween gig. I need to go buy some eyeliner, though. I decided maybe mascara, because he wants me to be, what's that, Malia? Well, whatever. Trump's significant other. Melina? I don't know her name. But she's a pretty, beautiful model type person. So I need to get a little more makeup. I just ran out of eyeliner, so I need to go buy some of that. That would be good. Significant other, I don't know what to call her, human. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna. Oh, fake eyelashes. I have never worn fake eyelashes because, see, I have decent eyelashes without them. But I suppose I could do that. Thick up the makeup. I should get Meliana. Thank you. 8749. Meliana. A pumpkin. Yeah, I haven't gotten a pumpkin yet. Well, she's a blonde. Isn't she? Justin Trudeau's significant other is blonde. I do have that wig that David was going to try to cut up and use for Trump's, but he has this other one, so I could use that to be Justin Trudeau's significant other. That would be good. One can only hope. What is drag? Oh, what? You kiss your screen when I get close like this. Here, I'll give you a cheek. There you go. Oh no, I thought Justin Trudeau's significant other was a blonde in this picture I just saw. I don't know. I do have pretty good skin. I'm not wearing any foundation today. No foundation. That's what my skin looks like without any foundation. I'm just wearing a little bit of eyeshadow, and that's it. That's all that's on my skin. So it's pretty cool. Oh, Meliana has perfect skin is what you were saying? 283. What? Oh no, Meliana is a brunette. Yes, Meliana is a brunette, which is why all I need to do for Meliana is like, I just have to, of course, take off the headband, right? I have to do some cool things with my hair. Scrunch it, right? Get some awesome makeup. And then I just have to get the model look going, like duh. Would that be like the Meliana, right? Got it? Pretty close? That would be good. So it would be pretty easy to do.
So this is the wig.
Oh, David has the wig, so we can practice our Meliana and Trump tonight.
I don't know about that. I don't know if this wig is going to be the right wig, but I ordered this from Germany.
Yes! Go ahead and link to your hair video, Cookie.
This is the first time I looked at it. I have not opened this yet.
Link us. Hair video coming up. Hair, wonderful hair. Awesome. Go after show.
Wow. Comes with a label, too.
It's even got a label. His wig has a label.
Wig me up.
Cookie celebrates hair.
Okay, let me see if I can put this on.
Initializing.
It's almost an exact match. This might not be the Donald Trump wig.
Are you prepared? Are you inspired? Should I play the hair video for everyone, Cookie? Hair, wonderful hair. I have to say, I hated with a capital, I don't know, all the letters in the word hated. Hated. Hair, the movie. Could not stand it. Awful. Hated. No, I don't hate Ted. I have never really met a Ted. I met a Fred once, but I never met a Ted. But no, the movie Hair, it was like a 1960s thing. Oh goodness, I so disliked that movie. It was so not good. Ugh. Yeah. I'm projecting. Why am I projecting? I usually don't hate things, by the way. Usually I don't, but I really disliked that movie.
Okay. This is how it came out of the box.
All right. Fantastic.
And I've got to figure out how to get this thing to look like Donald Trump's hair.
You want me to help you?
No.
It's pretty close.
Well, no, it's going to have to be like a full sweep.
All it needs is this over here. A
little bit more.
A little bit more. That's looking Justin Bieber-ish. That's it. That's getting closer.
Beautiful. Okay, we'll work on it. Let's do it a little later.
That's good.
And then
I'm
going to have to pull some hair off of here to make a flip because he has a little flip in the back.
You don't have to pull anything off. Just go like that.
What do you mean? How can I afford living on this? I saved up for 12 months to finance this on PayPal of my own money. This cost $24. It's too thick in the front. I agree. It's got to be thinner in the front. But I'm not going to cut the wig down. But
no, just go like that. That's fine.
Hey, anyway, so let's just do the show in the wig tonight.
And
yeah.
I'll be. It's hard for me to do the show like this though, because I have no idea what you're saying because I'm nearsighted, and so I have to be like this, like.
And heavy makeup. She has heavy
so,
makeup. Yeah.
Anyway, I know I have to go get maybe some fake eyelashes, and maybe and I definitely need to get some eyeliner because I ran out.
You definitely need. Yeah, let's get eyeliner. We get some natural stuff though. I don't want to put toxins on your eyes.
Eyeliner's pretty good. It's
cool.
Not too hard.
Well, I'm pretty happy with this wig overall. I mean, if we can get it to work, I do have
Actually, looks good on you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm starting to feel a little better with my my wig now. But you know, I did pay $24 for this. I feel like I got my money's worth. I'll have to give them a positive feedback on eBay.
All right.
You know, my impressions are the least of my problems. Our country is the biggest problem we've got. My impressions of Ronald Reagan have been, you know, notorious. People say, "Wow, you really nailed that." You know, my impersonations of Jimmy Carter. In fact, if you want an example of my impressions, let's take a little break and let's everyone see my 2.5-minute on-the-fly impersonation video, which I made in 2010.
I'll step out.
Cool.
Which is good. It is a good impersonation video. I just...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Yeah, so check this out. In 2.5 minutes, I impersonated 7 presidents. Hi, I'm David John Sponheim, and I want to be your president. People are asking me every day on our blog TV show, are you like a porn star or something? And I'm going to tell you, man, I am not a porn star. In fact, what happens when a president has to answer the ultimate question? Are you a porn star? And the answer is, like, from Nixon's point of view is, I want to make this perfectly clear. I am not a porno star. Or maybe if you were Jimmy Carter would have said, I think that Rosalind and I are not engaged in any behavior like that. I did lust after a Playboy magazine, though. Or maybe Ronald Reagan, the guy who pushed Jimmy Carter aside and showed us what true presidents are like. Ronald Reagan. Well, I'm sure Nancy and I wouldn't have approved of that, but it would have been awfully fun. Or
Mr. Gorbachev, take down your pants.
Or could it be like George H.W. Bush? 1,000 women I didn't do. Or America is a new world odor. Or Bill Clinton, I never had sexual relations on camera. But or something maybe even more contemporary, like George W. Bush, you know?
People die fighting for a porno. Laura and I never did that.
So what if Barack Obama said, make no mistake about it, I'm not a porno star. Could you advance the teleprompter? Okay. I think this guy should admit to having never been a porno star either. Ooh.
So yeah, you get the impression I really, and that was all done in 2.5 minutes. I did it on the fly. That wasn't a cut. That was just, record it, move on. Yeah. If you don't know what it takes to get noticed in America with censorship going on full blast, with an unbelievable lack of concern by our press about the lack of freedom and how so many people are bought off, if you don't realize that and realize that this show is more important at this point, just maintaining an opportunity for the American people to change their country with a brand new voice for America, a centrist voice. If you don't get that and know the need for politics to be fun and entertaining, then you totally missed the whole point of my show. It didn't really suck, actually. Everything I'm doing is working. I don't care how bad the impersonation is in your mind. It's working. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to contrive what I say and filter the words. I'm not some sort of a puppet reading off a teleprompter. Oh, thank you. My coffee. Thank you. I know. Nice comb over. No, this is an actual wig. This is the wig I ordered from Germany. All right, so cool. Let's just pretend like we're gonna end up doing a show.
You have your thing.
Yeah, my wig thing.
There we go.
Yeah, I know. It's a great wig, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like I'm back at the beach, man. It's like,
I don't feel like I have a big forehead.
Yeah, my forehead seems less important,
Yeah.
My campaign is solid, rock solid. Your derogatory statements will be purged. Anything that is purged is not, I'm not trying to inhibit your free speech. I'm trying to make you understand. Either you have something good to say or don't say anything at all. And if you want to talk about an issue, please, let's talk about the issues. Like the fact that I can no longer surf in Hermosa Beach because of the radiation. Yeah, dude. Surf's up, man. Fukushima has prevented me from totally catching a wave and riding a tubular. I was totally in the zone, man.
How's that an issue though, Cookie? I don't understand.
I won't even surf anymore because of the rides, dude.
Yes, did you hear today's Back to the Future Day?
It's Back to the Future today, all right, yeah. The wig is similar to Crispin Glover, really, in Back to the Future, really.
Well, today is the day, in Back to the Future.
That was the day, yeah, I know.
He came to the future today.
Well, we're wondering if something bad's going to happen today because they've been prophesizing, things that were going to happen. I heard there's references in Back to the Future to, Donald Trump and the creation of the Trump mystique. I don't know. Are they planning on installing this guy as president?
That's how he looks now? Wow, that's true. 48-year-old actor sported a scruffy brown beard and floppy hair as he arrived at the airport and showed little sign of aging despite reaching middle age.
Yeah. He looks like any other AIDS victim. I would never guess he was aging. Okay. All right, thanks. I'm not into, looking at guys.
I wasn't.
Sorry.
Never mind. Maybe
it's
I was.
It's a joke.
Maybe I was.
It's a joke. You can look at guys if you want. That's fine.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, the Japanese are suffering. There's incidence of thyroid cancer is increasing in Tokyo. You're not hearing a lot of this news because a lot of it's suppressed. the radiation really is bad west, of California. It's in the water. And anything east of Japan is probably not going to go flash back on Japan. So in a way, the opposite side of their island is actually fairly clean, considering the position of Fukushima. So it's all in how the wind blows. But it's a worldwide event. It's affecting everybody. It's affecting plant life, intertidal zones. It's affecting everything. So we have to start worrying about Mount Fukushima, folks. Well, what we want to do with spent fuel rods is I want to develop a burner or fast breeder reactor in the Yucca Flats area so that we can bring these things to, we can bring the spent fuel rods carefully and selectively and in protected concrete cylinders. We can carry them. There's Cato Caitlin, yeah. There you go. I'm like Cato. I think I've got a better smile, though.
Yeah, you definitely look better than Cato.
But no, seriously, getting these things in concrete cylinders and getting the position in a place where we could actually get rid of 97% of the spent fuel rod radiation by using them to generate more electricity. So Yucca Flats will be an electricity production center using a meltdown-proof reactor technology very similar to the IFR reactor that Bill Clinton shut down. Now, you're not going to get really cutting-edge stuff from Bill or his henchman Hillary. Hillary doesn't have any new ideas. The Democrats are just like, all they have is cap and trade, and it doesn't work. And carbon point legislation has proven to be a fiasco. People actually, you told me about how they started making this Freon replacement because they got so much money destroying it.
The 23 or HFC, something like that.
It's a waste product that was, they tried to develop a new alternative to Freon, and these cap and trade people in Europe decided to start producing more of this waste product and burning it up just to collect green energy tax credits or carbon points. It's crazy.
I'll have to scroll back up. Cookie.
Hillary Clinton has been involved in some pretty weird stuff.
What was that big cleanup thing?
The ocean cleanup is the largest cleanup in history. I profiled it earlier.
I don't have PMs open right now. I'm watching it through a pop-out window.
This is what we want to do. We want to set up booms that will trap plastic waste in the ocean. And this is from Ocean Cleanup, theoceancleanup.com. I'll give you guys the link. Okay. You're going to go watch a porn movie? Why would you do that? I was on the news? Really? I didn't know I was on the news. Well, the bottom line is, guys, this is a big task, cleaning of the ocean. We can't just, ignore it. We have to begin the begin, so to speak, and get this process going. So we will be developing some technologies to start pulling plastic waste in. In the center of the Pacific Ocean is a thing called the Pacific Gyre. Now, if we have the ability to start pulling in plastic waste, we'll also be sucking radiation out of the water at the same time, because a lot of that plastic waste is aggregating with radiated water. So we're going to be doing whatever we can to mitigate this problem that's persisting, but it's going to be a huge task, and this could be an extinction level event. Fukushima could eventually destroy the Earth if we don't deal with it right now. I hope I'm addressing issues that may concern many of you. I know that breathing fresh air and not dying of cancer is certainly high on your list of things you want to do. So I think I'm speaking to the choir here. The Syrian refugees will have a safe home when they get back to their country of Syria. Yeah, I know I use this new product. It's called a wig. It made my hair so much easier. This could be a regular event. I won't even have to wash my hair anymore. I'll just put the wig on.
Mohammed keeps asking, what will we do with Syrian refugees?
Well, like I said, I just responded.
Oh, yes.
But I'll say what I said just now. I'll say it again. I am now going to repeat what I said earlier.
Thank you.
I said,
we appreciate that.
You'll have a nice home to go back to. We're going to strike a deal with Vladimir Putin to back away from Syria. What Obama and his ego couldn't do, and what Donald Trump and his ego can't do, we're going to do. We're going to make a call to Vladimir Putin and say, I agree with you. We need to pull our troops, and the $500 million we funded ISIS, we need to pull that out. We're very sorry that this whole thing happened. I'm not buyable, Tattoo. I'm not rich, and I don't want to be rich. I don't even care about money. Money's never really been a high priority in my life. Yeah, the Pacific Gyre, by the way, is a huge body of water which is completely contaminated with floating plastic waste. I look 15 years younger. Cool. Thanks. Maybe this is the winning secret to, I have an ego, but I'm not materialistic. I don't derive my sense of egomania by saying, oh yes, I'm wearing an incredible $2,000 suit right now. That's absurd. I'm egotistic insofar as I believe I've got answers to the country's problems, and not many people do. That does power up my ego quite a bit. This is the Trump wig. We're going to have to make some modifications to it, though. I have to compare my face, and it has, and plus I have to do something with my jowls, so I may have to stick something in my mouth while I talk. Because he has big jowls, and I'm going to have to, add a little padding, like body padding, to add that extra 100 pounds that he's carrying.
In the gyres, there is on average 6 times more plastic than zooplankton by dry weight.
6 times more plastic than zooplankton. Wow. There you have it. Now it's up to 65 million investigating Clinton. You know that number grew from 40 million when Ken Starr actually got 40 million requested to investigate Whitewater? But you can call it 65 million, whatever. Yeah, and they only spent 15 million on the 9/11 commission investigation. I know. I agree. That's a good statistic to roll with, though. No, I don't do dress up, Drag King. I'm not into that. Thanks. A lot of people don't realize that, obviously, much of politics is fake. Politics is, as we know it today, is completely put on, and the media delivers the same old talking points every night, which are engineered for you to listen to. They never talk about things that are like super important that you'd think would be like number one on the list of things to talk about. They never bring up how we really should get out of the war in Syria, and our position in Ukraine is absurd as well. But we want to end the effect of GMOs, lower their use at the very least, eliminate fluoride from our water system, which shows that fluoride can actually cause a lowering of your IQ. We want to end whatever is going on in the sky by NASA. And I showed Sarah the video. She's aware that NASA is admitting to dropping huge amounts of lithium in the atmosphere. So, yeah, it's looking good, man. The fake hair is looking good. You're liking the fake hair. That's cool. Hey, I used to surf. So, why don't I just go back 30 years and become a surfer? Problem is I can't surf. The waters are polluted with radiation. Now, let's see what I look like with shades on. With the Mr. Anderson shades. Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Yeah, it's okay. I think the label's a nice touch, though, don't you think?
Yeah. That kind of, goes with the... Never mind.
What's your position on human trafficking? My concern is that it's been going on, especially with children, at an alarming rate. Recently, the FBI did a sting operation against pimps and people exploiting children, child traffickers, and they nabbed 200. And over the lifetime of the plan, the FBI claims they've saved 4,800 children from being human trafficked in sex slave rings. I don't think that's enough. 4,800 is not enough. We've got 55,000 kids a year missing. Do you believe that the fact that there was not a blonde beetle is a conspiracy? Discuss. Yes, I do. I believe that the blonde beetle was alienated and was never allowed to join the group. And considering the blonde beetle wrote most of the songs, yeah, I think there is a conspiracy there. It's a joke. Okay, forget it. We have to comb the sides back to make it look more like the Donald, and then we have to do a little flip with the hair up here. It's going to be kind of a
it's not
maneuver.
Up there, it's the other way. It has to be this way.
Whatever.
Because you go with what is there already.
Yeah. If you roll it back like that, it looks kind of better. Hey, what's going on, man? Cool. Get this down a little farther. There we go. Anyway, the fact is we are not going to see any change coming out of the Hillary cabinet. We aren't going to see real substantive changes out of Donald Trump's cabinet. What we will see is a police state forming. Both groups, Hillary wants illegal aliens to come into our country to create a police state, obviously, because it's going to create a backlash of more police officers. Donald Trump wants illegal aliens to be deported, which will require a police state. So both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both want a police state, basically. And people to live in fear of being deported. I mean, can you imagine what this country would turn into? A bunch of goose-stepping Nazis. Style it live. Okay, we'll do that on Halloween. This is just a precursor of Halloween. Claiming I look gay because I have blonde hair is absurd. That's just wrong. Okay, I'm going to step out. I'll be right back, and then I'll finish up the show.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Fantastic. Halloween. Exactly. Sarah. Exactly. That's so funny, 5398. Yes, I know that who Trudeau is the new Prime Minister for Canada. Tattoo 89, Justin. I kind of do like David with the hairstyle. Kind of. I know Anthony Gobsmacked. We like a gentleman named David John Sponheim for President 2016. Who is David John Sponheim? He's this guy, and wearing a wig, he was just this guy. No, David John Sponheim is winning. Let's get real. Correct, Ace. What's my take on Trudeau? He seems like, I don't know, all I know about Trudeau is that I saw a picture of him the other day and he seemed to be a good family person. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tattoo. So the girl was from Canada and she went missing in Vegas. Oh, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. No, I probably would not do my own if David stopped doing shows. I'll just do the shows with David and then, no, probably not. If David weren't doing shows, maybe I would do a show a week or something. I use my energy in other ways, Beekman. Thank you. Yes, Vegas can be a dangerous place. Oh, good. 2895. I'm glad that's good for you. Yeah, my take on human trafficking is that we need to do everything in our power to prevent it and stop it. Oh, good. Yes, human trafficking needs to go, needs to be stopped. Ironically, I kind of think that if prostitution, well, maybe this is not true because prostitution is somewhat legalized in Las Vegas and yeah, human trafficking happens there too, but I thought theoretically that if prostitution were legalized then there would be less human trafficking, but maybe I'm wrong. Stopping it is very difficult, 5309. That's why I think prevention would be better. Yeah, it is sad, Ace Days, you're right. Yeah, I agree with you, or Sky, with that. I don't have you on ignore, Mad Dog. You had a bill lift off against human trafficking in Canada. Good. Because he's out of touch with the average American, Anthony. David is an average American. That's why. It's how it's got to be, Anthony. I think everyone focuses on themselves on the Swish. I think it's just a natural part of being a human. I mean, we can move. It's not too late to move beyond that. I think that's part of being a human too, and becoming a self-actualized human is moving beyond just our selfish beliefs. At David's points, you can read them all on AmericasThirdParty.com. It's fantastic. We're very, we love all of our supporters and our viewers. It's been really nice. Yeah, exactly, Ace. He, I understand what you're saying, Anthony, and you can just go to this website over here, AmericasThirdParty.com, and you can read our platform and all of our points. We even have a book, Hybrid Capitalism, so you can read that too. Would you like me to post the link in the room so you can check it out? Oh, sure, I'll show you the earrings. Aren't those beautiful? It's kind of like those earrings that were created for that emperor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, exactly. 5304. You got it. You're welcome. Thank you.
Drag King, that's very derogatory. I'm going to purge it. You know, Drag King, we're getting a little tired of your crap. And if you continue mouthing off about us or me, I will definitely, you'll see, you'll feel the pinch, man. You might actually have to get another account number or name or something. No. Anybody who thinks that anyone runs this show except for me is mistaken. You like my hair? Thank you. I thought it was kind of cool that, it's retro for me because it brings me back to when I was a beachcomber and hung out in Hermosa, Redondo,
I like the Honda CR-V. Actually, my favorite is the Honda, I like the CR-Z.
CR-Z, yeah. The Honda
I like
CR-Z.
the CR-Z. That's my favorite Honda right now.
Do you know what they did? They actually got rid of the CR-Z. It's phased out.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, go buy a year-old one.
2014 was the last year the CR-Z will be made. And
2015.
I mean, 2015 will be the last CR-Z.
Go buy a CR-Z. It's awesome.
That's what I was told by
Why don't you like the CR-Z? Because
well, it's got a 2 rating. I don't know why.
I think it looks so cool. I like the styling on it.
It was built off of the same plan your car was made of. So when we see the CR-Z,
they have a 2015 CR-Z.
Yeah, but they told me this was the last year it was going to be built.
I think it looks.
I like it. Yeah, it's a 2-person.
Pretty cool. I love the look of it.
They're going to end the hybrids other than the.
I want a hybrid CR.
Well, you can get a hybrid Accord. Honda makes a hybrid Accord for
they
2016.
Also make a hybrid CR-Z.
Right now they do, yeah, but they're going to stop the CR-Z. It's not selling. It was a weak engine.
Well, I love the look of it.
Yeah,
There's
but
better engine in it.
It will get 45 miles per gallon. with that weak engine. And if it goes into sports mode, it does just fine in terms of acceleration.
You want a CRV? All right, let me look.
I think with the cost of fuel being so low, people don't really care about high mileage vehicles like we have, you know?
Well, even if the cost of fuel is low, you still save money. Oh, that's what you want. You're looking between that and the Toyota RAV4.
They want a crossover.
Uh,
You know, when you put money into a car,
you know what? The Chevy crossover is kind of nice too, as far as comfort.
when you put money into a car, you actually are, half the money will go away as soon as that car leaves the lot.
Have you looked at a Chevy Traverse, Beekman?
It's a waste, really.
I also want to look. What does a Jeep? That song.
I don't know what that song is.
It's a Jeep, and it's a Jeep. Wait, what are we doing?
Whatever you want.
I'm trying to type in here.
David, wow, you look so young. What happened? Well, I didn't want to tell everybody, but
Renegade.
I found the Fountain of Youth. It's in a small retail outlet in Germany, where they sent me this wig. This is going to be the Trump wig when we get done with it. Yeah, I don't like the fact that the sticker price on a new car drops in half once it leaves the lot. That's a waste of your money. The Fountain of Age, yeah.
I'll tell you one that I've traveled in that was really nice, and it's like the Traverse. Chevy Traverse is actually pretty nice as a crossover.
It is. It's a good car. You know, I'm actually okay with the Town and Country.
Oh, okay.
The old Dodge Town and Country vans. They still run, you know. You guys could get by with a GMC Venture van, something like that. That would be easy. I got the wig from an order in Germany, $24, and it arrived. It was a good deal, I thought. Okay, take care, Tattoo 89.
And the Toyota, let me look. The RAV4 is what you're looking at?
Now, all of you are wasting a tremendous amount of money by buying new cars. You know that.
Well, here's my thing. As far as buying cars, I went to this is what my financial advisor told me.
You want to wear my wig too, Mad Dog?
Or actually, I learned that's kind of nice. It looks a lot better than they did when they first came out.
They look good, yeah, but they're not high mileage. They'll only get about, I'd say, 18 to 19 miles per
David would tell you
gallon.
choose the one with the best mileage. But here's what I was told in if you want to buy a car, never buy a new car because like the price is like half of what it's worth. But go to buy a car from like at Enterprise or a rental car place.
Yeah.
Like, because usually when people drive rental cars, they like never want to mess them up.
Yeah.
So they're really careful when they drive them.
Really?
Yeah. And then the other thing is if you buy a rental car from like Enterprise, they always they never go over a certain mileage. So as soon as it reaches that mileage, they sell them and they buy a new one for their fleet.
That makes sense.
Third is that, and they inspect them usually all the time. But third is if you buy it from a rental car place, usually they give you like a year, like a guarantee for so long that you can get a free rental car from them if it breaks down.
Well, then we should go see Cal.
That's what I learned from my financial planning course. Just call Enterprise and ask how can I purchase one of your previously used vehicles, and they'll tell you. Yeah. Just
go to call
your
rental
local
car
Enterprise place and say, "Hey, I want to purchase one of your previously used vehicles," and they'll send you to the correct location.
You know, if I were you, the Pontiac Aztec was one of the, not so big highlights where you create a tent in the back of your car. We're talking cars here because people are wasting a lot of money on mortgage plans and cars that right off the press. Many of you don't realize, but that car goes down in value by 50% once it leaves the lot. So, Cal died, yeah. R.I.P. to Cal Worthington and his dog Spot. If you want to go see Cal, go see Cal. If you want to get a deal, go see Cal. If you want to get hosed, So if you really look around on the internet right now, I can find you a really nice car that'll get 40 miles per gallon for under $2,000. You want me to show you?
Yes, go ahead, David. Do the car shopping thing. You have 8 minutes.
In 8 minutes. Let's see if I can do it. This is running out of time.
Oh, the Aztec? You don't like the Aztec?
I don't really like...
David goes to the old Craigslist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to be realistic here. Hyundai 2003 for sale. There's 39 of them. Okay.
Now he's gonna find everybody an insight to do it.
No.
Buy.
An accent.
When others say no, we say yes. Okay. Look, he wants a crossover.
Did I say 2000? Oh,
wait. Look at that one.
You're wasting time. This is $10,000. I mean, I'm running out of time.
$10,000 is not bad.
No, I'm in the range here. Yeah.
Wait, how much are you doing?
2,000. 1,500. Here we go.
Oh, there you go. That one's good. The
Toyota Tacoma?
Yeah, go for that. 2001 Toyota.
Look at this car, folks. Oh my God, I feel like buying this right now.
One owner, very well maintained. If interested, just
I got to get this car. That's a nice car. I'm calling them right now. Oh, that's super nice. I'm getting that. I got to get that car.
Truck. I do like that truck.
I'm getting this truck. I can't believe we're going to get this truck. We just landed on it. Don't copy that email.
They can't see the email. It's behind my
Good.
head.
It's secret. That's a nice truck. Look at that. 2-passenger. It's 4-passenger Toyota Tacoma. I could pull a trailer with that. A little trailer. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
And
so
how many miles does it have? It says low miles.
Yeah, it did.
It has 114,000 miles.
I'm keeping that private.
David, it's like
I'm gonna get that truck. I love that. I love it. Yeah. Well, it's not, you can pull about.
I know, right?
You can pull 4,000 pounds. The Tacoma. It's like almost like a half ton.
What do we think of the Land Rover? Get diesel? You want a diesel Land Rover?
I don't know. I just love cars. Let's get a whole bunch of cars and put them in some big, huge pole building.
I know, right?
Out in the middle of the desert. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be Mark Zuckerberg to do that. I mean, you can do it on Craigslist for next to nothing. Okay, let me go back to my search because I'm running out of time.
Okay. But you can't pull up that truck anymore.
I know. I got that on a separate... I couldn't believe that deal. I'm going to get that tonight. I'm going to call him up. Just kidding. It's a joke, folks. I'm not really going to call him up.
But see, if for every $2,000 you spend, you need to keep it for a year. Like David's saying, just spend $1,500 every year on a car.
Yeah. That was $1,500.
It might last you longer than that.
That was $1,500.
Here's another thing I do have to say while we're on the car issue and David's looking for a car, is do maintain your vehicles.
Yeah.
Go and get the oil changes when you're supposed to.
Yep. Maintain those vehicles.
If you get your oil changes and you do regular maintenance, your cars can last a very long time.
Absolutely. We've got one car. We've got 3 cars that we really take good care of. 2 that we use on a regular basis, and 1 we use for like towing and traveling. But yeah, a 2002 Hyundai Accent will get you the kind of mileage you're looking for.
That is awful. Can you imagine walking around with sandpaper on your feet? Mm-hmm. All the time? That is what happens if you run a car without oil in it.
That's a down. Yes, exactly. Well, Sarah has 2 cars. I have 1 car.
Yes. I do have 2 cars. I like my cars. They're
okay,
decent.
I think we're onto something here. Okay, here it is. Here's the car.
But he doesn't want that car. He wants a crossover.
I found this. No, I don't care about a crossover. I'm going to find a car that'll get 40 miles per gallon, okay?
Because he looks good with a wig?
Here we go. Here's the car that'll get you 40 miles per gallon. It's the Hyundai Accent 2003. This is the time when they started adding the triple folds on those. The door gaskets have triple folding in it, which locks out any air from the road. This is a survival vehicle for a family of 4, Sarah. I'm serious.
Okay, you just have to paint it camouflage. No.
Well, no, you carry camo with you.
Yeah.
But say you seriously, say you're...
I don't need 2 cars.
Yeah, say you're Randy Quaid and Eva Quaid, and you're out there looking for a place to sleep. You can sleep in this car. Now, this car gets It's got good condition. It's $1,999. It's in San Antonio.
I love my old car. 'Cause it's kind of
Thank
like
you.
me.
You're getting a new engine in your Sonata recall for the win, an extended warranty. Good for you, man. Right on.
Is that poor Hog Slimer, he said he bought a car for $2,000. I thought I
What
saw
happened?
his car. I thought it was like a Hyundai. I'm not sure if that was Hog
This is the
Slimer.
Donald Trump wig. I'm just premiering it tonight. Coming up in about 9 days or 10 days, it's going to be the Halloween night. I'll be re-emerging with Donald Trump, and we're going to do a little styling on the wig to make it look better. Yeah, I picked up a wig so I'd look more like Donald. Anyway, this has been a really good interaction. I just can't tell you enough. If I'm going to save you any money, it's probably buying a used car. We've saved $30,000, $40,000
Yes,
than buying new cars.
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't buy new, buy used. But I'm glad I told Beekman about that whole enterprise thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too, because that is a good way to get a warranty and they check the cars out. They run them through their mechanics.
And they're pretty decent.
We have a car. Sarah got a car for her birthday last year, and
I know, thanks to you.
yeah, and it happens to be the car that I've been driving.
I love it. I
Yeah.
drive it all the time now.
I know, it's a great car. I mean, this is the Honda Insight.
That's my car.
She got the 2001. I got the 2000 5-speed. She's got the CVT transmission, the continuous variable transmission, and
It's awesome.
your car is set with only 136,000 on the odometer. We're going to get a lot more out of your car. Hey, wait a second. We got people in here who think Donald Trump's going to win. That's so funny.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my God. He doesn't realize I'm growing every day. You snapped your link on your rear stabilizer bar because you loaded up 700 pounds of waste in the back seat. Wow. Yeah, I was right. I told you. You don't want to overweight that car. Yeah, we don't like Donald Trump. He's going to support the Fed, and he's a Zionist shill.
No.
We don't like the Zionist aspect of him. We don't have a problem with Israel existing as a state, but I don't want some overtaking monetary control over our world or our country by some foreign nation.
Actually, quite the opposite I find is true, Beekman. People who drive rental cars, I don't think they abuse them. I think that they usually drive them really, really carefully because they know when they pull it back into the lot,
They're going to get, yeah.
Especially Enterprise, but the Enterprise people go out and they inspect physically. They look at everything and say, oh, look, you have a ding here, you did this here, and that's another whatever dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the people you've been with have treated them like Ferraris when they rent them. Well,
that's their choice.
I don't know. It's worth something to look into, but you can just look. You don't have to buy.
Save your truck, Dave. Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, look at that. He took a picture of me when I was ecstatic seeing this good deal I just uncovered on Craigslist. That's great. You can see I'm like, whoa, look at the sticker price on that. I want that. You know how long I've been looking for a Tacoma? No, I used to have a pickup, and it was one of my favorite little toys.
Was it a Toyota Tacoma?
It was a Toyota pickup. I used to have a Toyota pickup, and now I miss my Toyota pickup. Yeah, it's always nice to have a vehicle for loading things and towing things. And excellent choice, yeah. For $1,500, how could you go wrong? You know, gosh, our money's going to lose $1,500 just the way they're printing it up, giving it to people like Donald Trump. Our money in the bank is losing money every day. Whatever money you have in the bank is losing value because the Fed just literally is printing up money to hand to these rich pigs like Donald Trump. I really don't like the fact that people who are openly greedy are now trying to take over our country. Come on, folks. You can do better. You're doing great, though. The fact that you told people about a third party is really a big step in the right direction. But, you know, getting people to get a big plan together, like a huge movement, is way harder than anyone ever imagined, especially in a time when we're literally being lied to by the press, and they're controlling all the talking points. So
Good night. I'm going to leave you with my picture so you can pretend like I'm still in the room.
Okay, there you go. Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody.
Thanks, Sarah. Sarah's going to leave for now, but we'll keep her picture in there. You can rev up the show. I'll be watching in just a bit.
Okay.
Thank you. So we are looking at an awakening of sorts. People are starting to realize that we can't allow these screwballs, corrupt pigs, dynastic presidential candidates to lead our nation. They've got no new ideas. They literally are stagnating with the same crap that they've been hashing around, this cap and trade garbage, this carbon point legislation garbage. And the Republicans, they always say, oh, well, give big business a chance. They'll save us. I'm sorry, but Ronald Reagan's plan of trickle-down economics didn't work. I would have been better if I was a surfer in Redondo Beach. The fact is, companies just care about profit. And big business just cares about profit, and that's the reality. That's the reality. Seriously. No, I did not use hairspray. Anyway, thank you very much for coming into our show. It's been a really, really wonderful day. We encountered some fun stuff. I found a truck that I really want to buy. And, I'll have to keep myself in check because, when you want to buy something, you can't always just buy it. You have to actually earn the money to buy it. Yes, I'll take calls tomorrow night. Thank you. You don't want to ask me about investments. I don't invest in stocks. You have a guest house in Burbank you are welcome to use anytime, Dave. Wow, that's pretty nice, 5304. We could take it, donations of like kind from people like that, if we're visiting, but I don't know. I've got a place near Burbank that I stay with a friend whenever he, wants to see me. We could just, but thank you for offering. Yeah, we're going to be working on the wig, trying to improve it, making it more like Donald Trump. And I guess I should, kind of grease my face up and make it greasier. I'm going to get some of that natural tan stuff. So it'll have kind of like a spray carrot juice tan. And I bought a new tie today at the thrift store in honor of Donald. Yeah, I got a really nice silk tie for $2.99 plus tax. $3.25 out the door. What are you saying? You need a wig like this? What do you mean? That's nothing like this wig. Yeah, that's just a terrible wig. Oh man, that's the funniest thing ever. Good for you. Yeah, so much for the new program. Yeah, maybe I should get Open Office, Open Broadcast Studio, OBS. Yeah, the improvement didn't really happen. Oh, I know, Dave, 237 view is great. You see, don't ban people. Make show better. Yeah, I know. I don't ban people. I purge them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a friend in Burbank, but I have somebody who wants me to stay in their guest house, but thank you. Well, no, I'm not getting the Trump tie. I got something even better. Something almost unbelievably cool. It'll be fun. I just don't know about the coat. I have to use body padding to look 100 pounds heavier because he's 6'2" and about 290. I would say he's about 300, wouldn't you? Yeah, I think 300, I would say. I'd give him 290 on a good day. So I've got to gain at least, I'm going to say 80 pounds. No, I'm actually not 210. I'm 220 myself. I don't drink, I've had gin and tonics. I can remember sitting out in front of Santa Monica with some people I knew, drinking Bombay gin and tonics, talking about aliens. I'll never forget that conversation, actually. It was the strangest thing. She was dying of cancer. And, no, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm voting for me. Do you not read? The lady was dying of cancer, and she was a wonderful woman. And her husband, they had this epiphany that there would be an alien encounter. And this is way back in 1988. They'd have an alien encounter, and then they were like all jacked up on Bombay gin and tonics, talking about the script that they're going to write about the alien encounter and how epic it is. And I just said, I don't really believe in aliens. And that kind of killed the whole high from the gin and tonic. It was like, that's really an insane statement you're just making. You're showing how insane you are. It's not helping you at all, guest 731. Everyone knows the Green River Killer is Gary Ridgway, and he's currently serving, 59 consecutive years or something. I think Donald Trump is a corporate pig, and his whole approach to politics is to steal my ideas, like the 1,000-mile fence. Talking about illegal aliens, I've been doing this for 8 years, making an issue. I have a plan called Pay Americans First. He doesn't. Where we don't pay non-U.S. citizens any food stamps or welfare until we pay Americans first. No, not at all. In fact, reality is Donald Trump is a corporate pig who thinks he can buy a nation of thinking, living, honest human beings who really want a better country. You fill in the title text, okay? Whatever you want it to be. What would you like to say here? Really? How about wake up? How's that? We'll start with that. Hey, tomorrow is going to be a Technology Thursday, where a lot of you don't realize that our country doesn't have any real growth in technology except for smartphones. We're not really leading cutting edge issues like robotics. We need to do that. We aren't even leading in certain technologies like scramjet technology. China now has a scramjet that can go Mach 10. So we have a lot of catching up to do because we have been allowing corporate pigs like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton to suck us dry. Now I'm going to leave you with a little bit of information on Hillary that needs to be said, okay? And I'm going to kind of push this story out for you to refer to and realize that Hillary Clinton, in this article, proves that she was on the board of directors for the Lafarge Corporation, and she was complicit in defending an organization that literally burned toxic waste to make cement. They didn't want to burn coal because that was expensive. They wanted to burn toxic waste to make cement. And what's even heavier, many of you don't realize, but when Hillary Clinton was on the board of directors, Lafarge Corporation sold Saddam Hussein the chemical weapons that he killed the Kurds with. Think about that tonight when you go to sleep thinking you're going to vote for Hillary. All right? And read the article. Okay? Really good article. I'm really glad I found it, actually. There's not a lot we can really determine from what we have here. But we have a very corrupt government run by corrupt people, and they want to retain their power. There you go. Okay, I will take some translations before I close the show down. Thank you. Let's go to Google Translate. By the way, we play videos all the way in the night. If you guys want to chat, you need to tell me about the future? Oh, okay. Well, what do you want to talk about, 622? Vote for me. Okay, we'll translate a little of your LOLs here from China. A lot of you are trying to tuning in on our show now that you've picked up the feed from Japan. It's interesting. We're getting a lot of international people here. Do what hurts in this game. Head. You mean lead, not head. No, Donald Trump is actually inferior. That's why he stole my ideas. Yeah, everything he comes up with is just borrowing from me. All right. So a lot of you who are still hook, line, and sinker thinking a rich guy, a corporate pig like Donald Trump is going to somehow help you. Wow. Boy, are you an idiot. You ought to talk to some of his workers that feel exploited. I'm sure there are a few out there. And by the way, do you really want a person who borrowed billions of dollars to bail his bankrupt companies out and claim he's a $10 billion, I guess his equity he claims is $10 billion. He can't validate any of it. You really want a liar for a president? Something kind of like George W? Or Hillary, who's kind of crazed all the time, screaming, ah! What difference at this point does it make? Do we need that? I don't think we do. Nope, not going to happen. We're growing regardless of what they're going to control in the media. The two-party system has complete control over our free press. The media itself is bought off. And everybody who thinks that they own the world is going to lose everything they've got, because what's happening is global economic collapse. I wouldn't doubt Donald Trump will be sitting outside his hotel that he'll be bankrupt on someday, wondering if he can afford a cardboard box to sleep in. When this economy tanks, people like him won't be able to survive. They're not built out of the fiber that this country is made of. Trump doesn't understand what it's like to suffer, going without just to survive, to feed your family. Trump doesn't have any idea of what anything real is like. You guys do. I do. I know what a gallon of milk at Walmart costs. Trump has no clue. $2.79. Trump is in the 1%. That's right. And, Hillary is too. Barack Obama is in the 1%. My favorite prehistoric sea creature is the whale. The beautiful, beautiful humpback whale. I love them. And 4 of them have died recently because of Mount Fukushima. Yeah. They found 5 large humpbacks dead in British Columbia over the past 2 months. The hairdo is reminding you what suffering is. I know. I'm only wearing this as a cameo for our upcoming Halloween show coming up on the 31st, 10 days from now. No, I'm not in any way going to kowtow to your nonsense. I kind of liked you, Il Kissu, but I don't like you anymore. Yeah. And I don't like comments about hookers and cremation. I mean, you guys are really, some of you people are messed up. No, it's not a Trump wig yet. I'm going to modify it so it looks more like a Trump wig. We haven't gotten there yet. How do you know your breath isn't blowing back in your face? Thank you, guys. Thanks for support here, guys. We've got a lot of people who understand the need for a third party, unlike Donald Trump. We got a lot of people who've woken up to the lies, the false flags that Donald Trump would never admit are happening. We've got a lot of people who are convinced that the 9/11 was some sort of a cover-up. But Donald Trump won't even acknowledge it as anything other than a terrorist attack by some crazed group of Saudi Arabians. He buys the whole BS line of the 9/11 Commission report, hook, line, and sinker. I can't help you. Have you tried a over-the-counter Imodium to deal with your diarrhea? I am dreamy. I'm especially dreamy now. He was not all play, Tiger was. Tiger has lost a lot of his game. Tiger Woods no longer has the cutting edge in golf. But hey, not everybody's great, right? You can't be great forever. You are what you are. He is what he is. Now, when Tiger made that phone call, I didn't know what to say.
Hey, it's Tiger.
Hey, how you doing?
I need you to do me a huge favor.
What is it, man? Sure.
Can you please take your name off your phone? My wife went to my phone.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Calling you.
Okay, thank you.
If you can,
I will.
please take your name off that.
Yeah, I got to get rid of this label, too, on my wig.
Just have it as a number.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Just have it as your telephone number.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, do this for me.
I will.
Huge, quickly.
Huge.
All right, bye.
Later, bye. Yeah, so, I'm trying not to stay in touch with people who are kind of sliding in their game. I'm trying to be on the game all the time, so I'm maintaining a close contact with imaginary people on the internet. on a daily basis. That was Tiger Woods when he was trying to get that name removed from that. That cost him his marriage, man. I feel bad for him. I want to meet Tiger someday. You know that Tiger paid our government $15,000 just to train with the Army Rangers? Did you know that? Tiger Woods wanted to be an Army Ranger. He really, really wanted to be an Army Ranger. He could have been. He might still want to be. Let's give Tiger, yeah, he paid $15,000 just to train with the Army Rangers. Let's give Tiger a chance to become a real Army Ranger. What do you say, guys, huh? Golfing is, kind of passé. Let's get into being an Army Ranger. What do you say, huh? Calling me the real this or that. You guys are really grasping at straws, man. You have no idea how messed up you are. Thankfully, we're recording the chat, so you can't, make up stories and not have your IP checked by the FBI someday. I'm slaying you, really? Oh, no, I don't. No, I would never do that. I'm a nice guy. You are from the Northwest and fit the profile. You're insane, dude. They got the Green River Killer. Thank you so much. Ace to Ace has that cool little stamp he created. Thank you, Ace to Ace. You guys can cut and copy that, but you have to keep it as a Twitter message, because I tried to save it as a notepad. It won't save as a notepad. It's got certain lettering in it that won't save in Unicode. All right. It's been great tonight. We had a very lively show, probably one of our biggest shows tonight, and I don't know why. I know that people want to talk politics, and that's all good. But frankly, there is a growing concern that a third party is the only way out for our country. And if we just sit back and expect it to happen on its own, it doesn't happen on its own. The powers that be think that they've got this thing wrapped up. And I got to tell you, the American people, we can do this. We can get a lobbying group in Washington by building this political movement. And we can put the real fear of losing political power in the Democrats and the Republicans, who really have been lame duck Congresses ever since the past 2 or 3 elections. They haven't even balanced any budget. They haven't even come up with a budget. It's insane. So, like I said, I have a zero deficit plan for 2017. And if you want to read all about it, I'll give you the link directly to the node at our party. Now, that's a synopsis of what I can do for you in terms of saving lots of money on our government. I usually talk about all the hit points in this, but I don't have the time to do that right now. We are kind of moving forward. We're going to wig it. We're going to wing it and wig it. But that's the zero deficit plan for 2017. The Republicans actually have a plan that'll extend out to 2024 to get a zero deficit. I'm going for it in 2017, and I can deliver. Those ideas in there involve cutting the F-35 project in half and possibly turning in the F-35 into an unmanned bomber. I just love the idea. An unmanned bomber, one that has the defenses we need to deliver. And we need a modern bomber. I think the F-35 is just a failure in terms of tactical, point-to-point contact with other planes. I think that we really have to recognize that this great vehicle is only great because it has stealth capabilities. And what makes that better for a bomber? I don't know one other idea I can come up with. So, yeah, I'm not going to terminate the contract completely, but we definitely have to look at an unmanned bomber in the future. And we got to work on cutting that tag off tonight. Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you. I don't get 2,000 viewers in the cast because I'm not in the mainstream media. Guess 5506. Many of you don't realize, but the entire nation's media is defined by about 35 people. The same people over and over and over and over again with the same talking points. And they never bring up the really important the message that I'm talking about, which is to go against the war in Syria and Ukraine and the war in Afghanistan and Iraq with a modern plan that we talk about on Saturdays. And the Fed, retire the Fed in 2017, stop the Fukushima crisis, or at least mitigate it, end the reckless use of GMOs by Monsanto. I'm going to be working with the Justice Department to stop that. Stop fluoridation in all municipal water systems. He's too far to the left, or too far to the right. Sorry, Beekman. Yeah. We want to stop the chemtrails that are going on in our skies. Now, we know that this is happening. We even feature a video right now. I'm going to play you a video by a NASA official at the Goddard Space Center. And you're going to listen to NASA talk about how they literally are dumping chemicals in the air, lithium, to test the air above us. Why? Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Why would NASA want to test the wind patterns? I mean, none of it makes any sense. So we'll be taking a look at that right now. Yeah, I'm really kind of upset. In fact, I'm going to be in touch with somebody who's doing this by phone, and I'm going to try to get a recorded interview with a guy who's doing the chemtrailing. They're doing this scientifically. They're pursuing this on a daily basis. So I don't know what else to do but inquire. You know, inquiring minds need to know. But yeah, you'll be quite shocked at the story that this NASA scientist talks about, and he says it matter-of-factly. He really believes that dumping tons of lithium, which is a known danger for genetic defects and countless other things, it dumbs us down. Dumping that in the air is okay with this guy.
It is. Yeah, it's very important. We communicate what we're doing to the public. We're very interested in making sure everyone knows what we're doing. We're not, we're a civilian space agency dedicated to science and research and so on. So we're very, very keen to make sure that the taxpayers know what we're doing and everything. So. Well,
you know, when the article came out in the major newspapers, including the Huffington Post, there was no mention of lithium, not one.
All right, so you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth there. NASA scientists telling you that they dump chemicals night and day. He actually says, going to Dover, you've never been a supporter. You're one of those Democrats, right? Or you're one of those liberals, extreme liberals. Yeah, I'm a centrist. You've got to understand, I take on all the toughest issues here. And many of you don't have, yes, I have proof. And I'm going to show you proof. God, you guys are so out of it. Wake up, dude. God, I can't believe I even have a conversation with you people every night and you're so out of it. Yes. I'm going to show you him say to you, flat out, that they use chemtrails all the time, night and day. Wake up. Okay, and by the way, this NASA scientist, his name will be on the screen. And I will post it for you so that you can write him a letter. Okay? His email. Look, I'm as liberal as, I don't know, let me think. See, Bernie Sanders doesn't support gun rights. Neither does Hillary Clinton. Neither of them want a strong border with 1,000-mile fence, which is my idea, not Trump's. Yeah, and how am I liberal? I'm a centrist, man. Yeah, whatever Bernie Sanders is, I have no idea, but I'm solving problems. These people are making them. Patty Murray, the soccer mom from hell, Obama's joker, these are the enemies. These Democrats have done nothing for our country. All they do is tax and spend. Why are you not realizing that? Now, I'm going to play you that NASA scientist right now talking about how they dump chemtrails all the time. And it's not good for you. Lithium is a very dangerous thing. You know, are any of you suffering from extended stomachs, constipation, lack of sex drive, rash? Any symptoms like that? Of course you are. You're just afraid to admit it. Yeah, you're suffering from lithium poisoning. And the NASA scientist, he's going to tell you it's perfectly safe. Okay? Ready? Get set? And goodbye. I'll talk to you tomorrow, 5 to 9. Technology Thursday starts without the wig. This is the Donald Trump future wig. I'm working on it. I got to get a swoop going here. It's going to have to take some hairspray or something. All right, here is the NASA scientist telling you they're dumping chemtrails day and night. For all of you non-believers, I go the distance to find you the best links on Earth. Enjoy. Take it easy. Surf's up, dude. Gnarly. Here we go.
Not one mention of lithium. Until I heard the recording of the actual, I listened to it. I listened to the rockets go off. I had no idea there was going to be a lithium dispersed until I heard payload lithium dispersed.
Right. There was lithium dispersed, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I think you might be under some misconceptions about what we're doing, but I'm happy to tell you any details that you need.
Well, I know that it says in your article that you're doing it for communications.
Okay, let me leave this on the screen for all of you to write down. Grab a pencil or paper and write douglas.e.roland@nasa.gov and write them an email. Ask them, do you spray chemtrails? Any of you? No, she's not nuts. She's just concerned about dumping of lithium above our houses. You're the psycho, buddy. You're the one endorsing a corporate pig like Donald Trump and a bunch of freak 1%ers out there. You're the psycho. Okay, listen to Douglas Rowland, the center heliophysicist, talk about this in a matter-of-fact way, as if there's no big deal that they're dumping chemicals all over us. All right.
You know that it says in your article that you're doing it for communications.
Okay, I'm happy to talk to you more about it. There are many reasons we're doing it.
Okay.
We don't understand how the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails